Welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatics channel. What's good with you? It's your boy JB here. And hey, this is the second Monday Night Football game. So this is the last football game of the week. And so we're just waiting on this one to get started. But man, we've got the Seahawks, we've got the Texans in this one. Both teams right now really could use a win right now for these respective teams. And so we're going to see how this one plays out here tonight. But man, let's go ahead and see how the chat is going. And we've got SM in the building tonight. What's good with you, SM? How are we feeling? How are we feeling? SM said you got Seattle winning this one. I believe I chose the Seahawks to win this one as well. I do like this Seahawks defense. I feel like they're underrated when they're healthy. Sam Darnold's playing good. And of course, I need my boy Jackson Smith and Jigma to go out there and get your boy a couple touchdowns tonight. That'd be great for my fantasy team. But yeah, we're just waiting on this game to get started. And I keep eyeing this Detroit and Tampa Bay game as we're waiting right now. Let's see, SM says that Baker's playing bad. Yeah, I've noticed. I've noticed. I mean, he's had a tremendous year, but yeah, I mean, at some point it catches up to you. It catches up with everybody. But yeah, I'm just watching that game here on this end until we get started with our matchup. But yeah, I know what you're thinking. You're like, man, JV's coming on late tonight. What's up with that? I could use another touchdown from Jared Goff, though. I'm not even lying. I could use another touchdown from Jared Goff. But I wonder if anybody else's fantasy football team right now is going through it. Meanwhile, let's see. All right, so make sure I can get this game. The channel that I'm looking at right now tells me I've got to wait about 10 minutes to get the game on my end. That's crazy. Laney, what's good? How are you today? And Lenny says, "Hey JB, how are you doing?" And yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing much better than Baker's playing, that's for sure. But yeah, Baker is struggling. Mike, Mike, what's good? What's good with you? Mike says, "Yo, JB." Let's see. Mike says, "Why you gotta wait?" Yeah, YouTube TV is telling me that all the games, because I'm on Central Time, are gonna start at 9:16, so I can see the scoreboard shows that the game has gotten started. But for some reason, I cannot get access it through YouTube TV right now. That's very weird what they're doing. So I'm just gonna have to use the play-by-play until I can see it myself. But I see that Kenneth Walker with a 2-yard carry on first down for Seattle. And then on 2nd and 8, tried to pass the ball to Jackson Smith and Jigma. Oh man, what's good? What's good? How you been? Old man says, "What's good, JB in chat?" You say, "JB, we got a head coach of the year and MVP May. Definitely head coach of the year for sure. But we'll see how it plays out for May. He's certainly at the end of the season. I think it'll be worth having that conversation. I love everything that I'm seeing from him, though. I really love the development. Absolutely." Mike says, "Shout out Ode." Absolutely. And so let's see. Donald short right to Barner for about 7 yards on the play. Going to bring up 4th and 1, ball at the Seattle 38-yard line. And again, JB is still trying to catch it right now myself. And so Day and Gray's life, what's good with you? What's good? What's good? And yes, YouTube TV is trying to give JB the roundabout, but that's okay because JB's going to find it. And I believe I found it here. Perfect. All right, so the Seahawks going to line up to punt the ball here. Punts on the way. Fair catch, and the ball bounces past them. This is going to be great field positioning if you're a Seahawks fan here. Backs them up deep within their own territory to start this one. See, Mike says you should be in your face after the passer back in own Bills. Hey, I'm just taking it 1 week at a time. You've got a very young team, and I got it. And I'm not gonna lie, beating teams like the Titans and stuff like that, that's nice. But at the same time, we got to be consistent. We've got an easy schedule, so I do have to keep that in mind. So Gray Life says, "Let's go Seahawks." Hey, I need Jackson Smith and Jigma to go crazy tonight. If he goes crazy tonight, JB is going to go insane for sure. And so, Bet, my guy just subbed. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Absolutely. All right, so here goes the Houston Texans from their own 4-yard line. Shotgun formation here. It's a draw play. Chubb running up the middle. Picked up about a good 4 yards on the carry before they stop this progress here. And again, this is the Houston Texans' first offensive possession of the football game here. So, what's good? Hey, I actually listened to what you said last time, Kenneth. You said you wanted me to stream this game here. And I know that Mike also said I needed to stream some more NFL games. And so, yeah, your boy came in, streamed today. I got two, I went to the gym twice today. So JB's feeling some extra energy. I hope it lasts. All right, 2nd and 5 right now for the Houston Texans. Stroud up under center receiver going in motion. Play fake. Stroud throws it. Tight end catches it one hand and goes out of bounds, but not until he picks up the first down and then some. So Houston gets the first down here. Again, here in the first quarter with 12 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Houston's first offensive possession of the game, still in motion. Let's see, you say, let's go Birds. So Kenneth is going for the Seahawks as well. I like it. A lot of people going for the Seahawks here. Okay. Mike says, point is, you got a quarterback, so you're on your way. It feels so great, Mike. I miss that feeling so much. It feels so great. RC, what's good? Stroud in the pocket, throws it short, incomplete. Incomplete. RC says, Big JB, I ain't sleep yet. What up, bruh? I'm glad to see so many people are up at this time. I was a little concerned. I was like, did I pick too late a game? But absolutely not. But what's good? RC says, JB, you're going to be snoring at halftime with like your barbecue sauce in your chin? Hopefully not, because them ants down here in Texas, these ants are big. So if they catch JB slipping like that, I may not have a chin after that. All right, but here we go again. First quarter, 11 minutes and 52 seconds to go. Shotgun here. Going to give it to the back. And oh man, Chubb ran into some traffic that time. How about that Seahawks defense? How about that Seahawks defense? You know what? JB is filled with regret. If I had not started the Steelers defense against the Bengals in my fantasy football team and actually started Seattle's defense, I'm pretty sure Seattle's going to put up some numbers defensively. And so I'm still mad I started the Steelers. I might just drop them after what they did this week. I'm not even kidding. And so Daniel, what's good? He says happy Monday. And hey guys, what's good with you? Let's see. Gray's Life says 2,300 subs. Dang, and so yeah, I mean, hey, I'm all happy for it. I am all happy for it. I remember a couple years ago, started from the bottom back around 2022. I feel, and so happy to be here. Oh, what is CJ Stroud doing? What is CJ Stroud doing? I mean, wow, he kicked it in reverse and did not stop. How about that for the Seahawks defense? That's what it's all about. It started with the great punt, and then after the Texans picked up a couple first downs, that pass rush said, "You know what? We're going to shut things down." And look at that. Look at that stat. He better be lucky for this thing called forward progress. Otherwise, that would have been 2 points. But man, that was dangerous. That was dangerous. And I know my man CJ Stroud. You start putting pressure on him like that, you shut down this Texans offense. I'm telling you that. Let's see. Daniel says, go Seahawks. Late game. And so, yes, I mean, when you get as old as JB is, this feels really late. But man, look at that. 4th and 31. That's what I'm talking about. But wait a minute. The Seahawks coach here, he wants to consider throwing his challenge flag. He believes it's a safety. Now, I know the whole thing with forward progress. I believe that they would grant him forward progress here. I get where the knee went down inside the end zone, But I believe due to forward progress that that would not be a safety. But again, correct JB if I'm wrong with that one. Let's see, Mike says picking and sleeping it is for the week. You said yesterday you got a four-piece honey barbecue combo with mashed potatoes, Pepsi, extra rolls with honey. And so, hey, JB's stocking up with Pepsi as well. You can't see there. You can't really see it. There it is. But at least I have the Pepsi Zero there. At least I'm trying. All right, Seahawks to about the 45. So now you got great field position thanks to the work that the defense put in. And now if you're the Seahawks, it's time to get things going. Feed Jackson Smith and Jigma with the ball. Make JB's fantasy football team happy in the process. Win-win situation there. Mike says chicken slice sandwich. Let's see. Great Life says it would be a lot of money if it was money. If only, right? If only YouTube paid you by the sub. That would be amazing. Mr. Yoshi said, JB, I am shocked you didn't cancel. And so, hey, give your boy some credit now. See, I'm more likely to show up. That's why I've kind of switched it from like just scheduling too far in advance. Because I was like, all right, today is going great. I worked out twice today. JB usually doesn't get to work out twice, but I worked out this morning and then after work, I literally just got back about 45 minutes ago. Then I was able to eat, get ready for the stream. And so JB's feeling good. JB's feeling good. Now I know tomorrow I might crash, but I'm feeling good tonight. Let's see. Mike says large coleslaw with 2 extra pieces of original recipe and all 11 herbs and spices. And so if only it was. Kenneth says we got a rate in the chat. Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. Appreciate the heads up there. She said, "Dang, Mike, I ate the wrong." So yeah, Lockett requested his own release. I can understand the frustration. He's a longtime veteran. I understand that. I understand that. Listen, Kenneth says that my other friend's channel, and he's a small streamer like me. So bet, bet, bet. And again, the link is in the chat for anyone interested. And so Snowman, what's good? Snowman Raid coming through in the building, showing love from Indiana. And hey, what a time to be from Indiana. I mean, if the Hoosiers don't make you proud, I don't know what will, but right now, Indiana showing that they are about that life in football. So I know you guys got to be stoked about that as well over there in Indiana. But what's good with you guys? Grace Life says, anyways, are the Seahawks close to getting a touchdown? And so they're in good field position. They're about at that 40-something yard line. And so they've got a little ways to go. But if they can get that offense going, hey, sky's the limit. SF says the Lions got away with tripping, but Baker did not play well today. His MVP, yeah, he did not play that well at all. Mike says Jaden continues to regress as we discussed. And so, I was very concerned, coming into this year. That's why he was my 4th quarterback behind Jalen Hurts when it came to fantasy football, because I was like, his frame is so small. He will get a lot of injuries, and that was my biggest concern was can he, be durable, honestly. Then was there going to be some type of regression or not? You never know. But I believe he'll be fine, but he's got to get healthy. Meanwhile, Kenneth Walker III, nice carry on the play. My opponent has Kenneth Walker III, so I really hope the Seahawks will try to pass today. Let's see, to the YouTube Pro. Let's see, Mike says Bryce out against the Bills. And so, yeah, I seen that he's out. How long is he out? Is it like week to week? I think that he's going to be out week to week. And so that means you guys get old man Dalton. So I know you're happy about that. Essence says the Lions got away with tripping, but Baker didn't play well today. His MVP run taking a hit. All right, so here goes the Seahawks. Play fake. Darnold throws it and gets the completion. Oh, he ran over the defender in the process there. Gotta love it. Big time play and a first down. And now the Seahawks, they can smell that end zone already. And that was on Derek Stingley in the secondary. I mean, he really just slipped on the play, honestly. The DB just slipped. Nice route, nice throw, making it look easy out there. Making it look easy. SM said Commanders had an easy schedule last year and Jaden having a sophomore slump. Hey, that's true. That's true. That's something that you really have to consider about that easy schedule part. Pump fakes. So another running play here. Kenneth Walker III picks up a couple yards here. About 3 yards on the carry. Second down coming up, 2nd and 7 here in the first quarter with about 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go. And right now it's still 0-0, but the Seahawks, they are moving and grooving right now, and they can pace the end zone here. They just got to get there. He said, let's see, Mike says, I mean, he'll be fine long term, but he is struggling. That he is. And that's what injuries do. It takes away snaps. You can't build chemistry, guys in and out the lineups, no Terry McLaurin, all that stuff. Tight end goes in motion for the Seahawks, one back in the backfield, two tight ends, two receivers. He's looking, throws it, gets the completion again to the tight end. Going to be about a yard shy of the end zone. So now, first and goal. Let's see, Grace Life says, your favorite football team is the Atlanta Falcons? Oh, bet. Those Atlanta Falcons. Let's see, Mike says probably 1 week. And he says that Dalton sucked. SM says the Vikings should have kept Darnold. If they knew what they knew now, SM, they would have. They would have. All right, first and goal. Gives it to the back here. Ooh, fighting for it. Now the second and third push here. Is it enough? Let's see. Does the referee think it's a touchdown here? I see a flag. That's never a good sign when you see a flag. Seahawks believe that it's a touchdown. Listen said, you don't know why I picked the Vikings there? I don't know. It's something about when I go live with Zoe. I always find myself picking his Vikings. It cost me last year when it came to my pick'ems against old man. He beat me by 1 game, and it was because of the Vikings in Detroit last year. So I should learn my lesson by now. Grace Life says, you have to go by. Hope you don't miss a touchdown. And so, but that's a touchdown there. Zach Charbonnet on the 1 yard rushing touchdown, cashing it in for the Seattle Seahawks and giving them the lead right now, 6-0. And of course, the pending extra point here. But that was 5 plays, 44 yards, 2 minutes and 38 seconds in terms of time possession off the clock there. And if you're Seattle, that's what it's all about. They were able to target their tight end early and often on that drive, and it paid off. You say your grandma liked the Houston Texans? Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. She must be from the Houston area. Extra point is good. So now the Seahawks up 7-0 here in the first quarter, 7 minutes and 28 seconds left to go here in the first quarter of play. And so now we'll see how CJ Stroud and Houston Texans try to respond after the Seahawks just took a 7-0 lead in this one. So Kenneth says, how's the wife? And yeah, so we went out to eat, Kenneth. We went out to eat because you know your boy JB loves to go eat. So yeah, went out to eat, all that great stuff there. But appreciate that. Appreciate that. Is that Detroit game final? I still got to check my fantasy football team, see how things are looking right there. But I would feel better if Jared Goff had got me a little bit more than 11. He said, "Remember my family and purpose." Absolutely. See, Mike says, sorry, Stroud. We happy with Bryce? Are you really? There was it a chain place? And so, well, she wanted to go to Denny's. She wanted to go to Denny's there. So we went to Denny's. So we went to Denny's this time, but we will be going out again later on to somewhere a little bit. We'll be going to the Cheesecake Factory in the future next time we go out, but this time it was Huddle House. I'm sorry, not Huddle House. It was Denny's. And so RC said Detroit won, JB, and so that's great for them. But I needed more than 11 points from Jared Goff. My opponent has Kenneth Walker the third. I got Jackson Smith and Jigma. I mean, as long as Jigma gets into the end zone, I should be good. But I really wanted Goff to go ahead and just ice things, give me a little touchdown there, so JB wouldn't have to worry about it. But you know how that works. Essence said Darnold playing better than he did last year. And so let's remember now for Sam Darnold, at what point of last year did he fall off? Because I felt like it was like that final stretch where, like when the weather got cold, that's when he fell off. But we'll see if he can be consistent all the way through towards the end. But I like what he's doing in Seattle. I really do. All right, Stroud, another run play here. And that's going to be a pickup of 2 yards on the carry. He's going to make it 2nd and 8 coming up from the Houston 39-yard line. RC said JB went to Denny's and then he left. Mike says, shout out Denny. He said, your mouth is watering for the pancakes. Yes, Mike. Yes. The wife wanted to go back again today, but I was like, no, we're going to work out today. That's what we're going to do. We'll work out so we can enjoy the weekends. Esm said the Vikings could have even signed Rodgers for a year. I mean, they would take what he's giving them, honestly. I mean, they realize they have no choice but to hope that JJ gets together. Meanwhile, Stroud throws to the back of the backfield, makes the reception. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Woody marks on the mark. Now, let's see where they mark him down at, but I think he's going to be about a yard shy. Third down coming up. Again, here in the first quarter, about 6 minutes and 27 seconds left to go here in the first. And again, Seahawks up 7-0 right now. Mike says Hurts' best game this year. And so, yeah, because AJ Brown was balling. And so, I'm going against Zoe in fantasy football, and he has AJ Brown. I have Jalen Hurts. So I was getting a little annoyed. I was like, throw it to somebody else other than AJ Brown. But nah, he balled out. All right, 3rd and 1 for the Texans to run play here. And that Texans defense says, no, sir. They say, no, sir. Wow. How about that? Man, JB is a fool for not starting the Seahawks defense this week over the Steelers defense in fantasy football. See, Mike says Barkley, Doc drops on Prime. Who's the Thursday night game that's coming up this Thursday? Who plays this upcoming Thursday? If anybody happens to know off the top of their head. Let's see. Mike says, shake my head. Patriots sitting number 1 in AFC East. And so, I mean, if nothing else, Mike, it at least pushes the Bills to where it's not a coast like, all like the previous years. So now they realize, like, hey, we got to go out there and we got to fight throughout this regular season. All right. So the Texans punt the ball here. The punt is going to go into the end zone here. So now we're about to see the Seattle Seahawks. Last time we saw them out there, they scored a touchdown, but they had great field position prior, like last time they were out there. This time, they're gonna have to work down the field. They're a little bit further there, but let's see if they can do that. Let's see. SM says, JB, how would you rank the 2024 quarterback class right now with Caleb, Jaden, May, Penix, McCarthy, Nick? I'm gonna say this. They've got some real A players here. I mean, Jaden, he can do some great things here, long term if he can stay healthy. His only concern is his health. Caleb, I know he gets a bad rap here and there, but Caleb shows that, he's going to change life for the Chicago Bears at that quarterback position here. And then you've got Drake May. Those three alone, I feel like I know for sure. And let's not forget Bo Nix also. So those four right there, we know for a fact are going to be starting for these teams there for the foreseeable future at the rate that they're going. Then you add wild cards like JJ McCarthy. If he figures it out, he certainly has the weapons there, but he's got to figure it out. But he's young. This is our first couple starts here. He can't figure it out. Now, Michael Penix Jr., I'm looking at him side eye right now, like, hey, bro, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? But sometimes it just takes time for some of these guys to get going there. But I still like the potential of a lot of these quarterbacks. So I would say that honestly, that was a nice draft class. Honestly, a nice draft class. I would give it honestly like a B plus, a B plus. And guys like Michael Penix Jr. and McCarthy, they can make this an A class if one of those two really turn into be a franchise quarterback. But I give it a B plus. Yeah, Mike says Bills have recruits first round pick Mad Max Harston will join the secondary. Bet. So he's coming back. Okay. And you say it'll be much entertaining for me. And so that's one thing that I will say that I've learned to appreciate. Now obviously it'll make me mad if every team in the division is really good, but when you have that one team that's like, okay, they're gonna push you so that way you keep your foot on the pedal. And then weeks, 16, 17, 18, you're not just subbing in backup, and then you lose the momentum that you built all season long. I've seen too many teams do that. But you know what, RC? I gotta say this, RC. I chose your Cowboys to win this week, and your Cowboys made me look smart. I was hesitant at first, but I stuck with it. And hey, Cowboys look good. They look good on that last win. I'm impressed with what Dak Prescott is doing. He's playing the best football of his life. Hope he keeps it up for his sake. I really do. He makes it to the Bills, just go to the playoffs and then get stomped. First and 10 here for the Seahawks. Cooper Kupp goes in motion from their own 20-yard line. Darnold up under center. Changing the play. Play fake. Looking. Darnold throws one up there. Yes, it's a Cooper Kupp. Oh my goodness. Cooper Kupp with a big time play. Again, here in the first quarter with 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go. And yeah, he found Cooper Cup all alone back there. Wow. And Mike says, shout out Mac Jones. Hey, Mac Jones is making it do what it do. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. But here we go for the Seahawks here. Sam Darnold up under center here. We got three receivers, one tight end, one back here. Charbonnet's the back in the backfield from the 48-yard line of the Houston Texans here. Play fake again. Darnold in the pocket. Darnold feeling uncomfortable. Darnold just throws it to the sideline. I think he was aiming for you and me at this point. He finds Jalen Milroe on the sideline, though. Obviously, no completion there. RC says Penix Jr. garbage. Justin, your opinion there. And so the fact that I knew what he was in college is one of the main reasons why I feel like maybe he just needs a little bit of time and maybe even a different system possibly as well. But I think Michael Penix Jr. does have that potential, so I wouldn't punt on him just yet. But you know how the NFL is. If you're not fast, you will crash. It's just that simple. And so Gray's life is back. Welcome back. Welcome back. And yes, your Seahawks are on the board 7-0, and they've got the football here. Going to be a running play here, and Charbonnet, nice pickup on the play. Picked up about 8 yards on the carry. Third down coming up. I'm sorry, I didn't even read that one. Let's see. RC said, I tell you what, JV, I gave us a new name earlier, the Dallas Cardiac Roller Coaster Cowboys. Oh, man, what a name. Let's see. Mike says struggling JJ McCarthy will face falling off Herbert. And so, oh man, Herbert without them backs in the backfields has been a struggle to watch. All right, Seahawks on 3rd and 2 here. Gonna head to the back again, and all right, so he's gonna pick up 2 yards there on the carry. That should be enough for the first down, but let's see what the referees mark it. Again, here in the first quarter, about 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Seahawks up 7-0, and they want to keep this train moving here. I think now's a good time to feed Jackson Smith and Jigman. Now's an excellent time, but it's 4th and 1. It's 4th and 1. So the referee said he was short. 4th and 1. See, Mike says the Eagles play the Giants Sunday. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one. 4th and 1. Do they really want to snap it? Yes, they do, and they get the first down. They get the first. They said they were not going to put Sam I am back there due to tush push. Nope. RC said, JB, they did not have to draft Penix Jr. They could have drafted him at the end of the first, early second round. I mean, I will say this, RC. I feel like if the Falcons did not take Michael Penix Jr., I truly believe that the Raiders were going to trade up to get on Michael Penix Jr. I feel like if the Falcons didn't get him, he was going to end up going to the Raiders. I feel like I think that they were eyeing him, hoping to get him. Fever goes in motion. End around here. Kenneth Walker the third. Kenneth Walker the third. He is running out of real estate. Gets knocked out of bounds. All that, and I saw a yellow hanky out there. See, Mike says patience with Pinnock. You say Phil still stings. Oh, does he? Does he? He said the Vikings is on Thursday. Bet. Samuel, what's good? I thought you went to sleep, Samuel. What's good with you? You say, hey, what's up, JV? And you say, moving to Georgia next year, 2026. That is the game plan, Samuel. That is the game plan. I tell you what, though, Jackson Smith and Jigma, I'm gonna need him to do a little something for my fantasy football team. All right, 1st and 5. Gives to the back again. Oh man, look at that. Charbonnet is putting in work on this drive. That's another first down here for the Seattle Seahawks. That's 8 yards. He's already got 4 carries for 18 yards and a rushing touchdown so far tonight. Just keep feeding them. As I said, JB, this is how I rank them. So you got May number 1. JB loves that already. You got 2nd, Caleb. 3rd, Jaden. 4th, you got Nix. 5th is Penix. And then 6th, McCarthy. So, you know, I like the list. I like the list. I do like the list. I will say, yeah, 2, 3, I probably might swap those, but hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. That's a solid list right there. See, Mike says what to do with Mac Jones. Mac Jones is exactly where he needs to be at right now. I'm going to describe it like this right here. He's a great backup for the 49ers right now. 49ers got a great system. If they want to rock with him the rest of the season, that's cool. That's cool. But I'm going to treat him the same way you treat a guy like back in the day, AJ Feely when he's with the Eagles. He looked good when he got the start, but the moment you trade him to the Dolphins, the moment he has to play somewhere else, he doesn't look that good. So I'm going to treat Mac Jones with the same thing and just assume, like, you know what? He's good with the 49ers in that system, so let him stay there. He's been around some bad systems, don't need to go nowhere. Just stay there and start when need be. But if you hand him the keys, do you really think Mac Jones will take you all the way to the Super Bowl? If you can tell yourself yes, then sure, rock with him. But if you know that answer is no, then just keep him doing what he's doing. See, Mike says Zach Wilson still stinks. I wonder what is he doing these days. All right, so third and 11 right now. Darnold looking. Darnold feeling the pressure. Darnold still running. Darnold high stepping. Darnold takes on the contact. Wait a minute. Darnold thought he was a running back for a second. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Darnold, you might want to rethink that decision. Some said you're a big believer in Caleb. Maybe you're biased because you're a USC fan, but you think Caleb will have a better career than Jaden. You know, he has the better talent. I will say that. He's got the better talent, but I like what the Commanders are doing so far for Jaden. But the thing is, though, I do think that injuries at some point will continue to be a problem with Jaden throughout, his career. Just like with Joe Burrow, every time we look, he gets hurt every occasionally, but you just deal with that. You deal with that. I remember watching Chad Pennington when he was with the Jets. Loved him as a quarterback, only Jets quarterback I ever liked, but the man kept getting hurt. So that could be Jaden Daniels. But Caleb, I think he'll be a little bit more durable. And as he continues to grow, it'll be that steady increase, steady increase, steady increase. But yeah, when it's all said and done, he may be. I certainly can see it. Yeah, see, Mike says, nice take. So, yep. And you said, did Purdy get too much? He ain't the only 49er that got too much. Brandon Ayuk got too much as well. Dewan Jennings got too much. Everybody got overpaid, and they all not doing anything to help out. The only guys working are the guys that didn't get paid. Ooh, Darnold throws it in there to my guy, Jackson Smith and Jigma. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Sorry, y'all. I got a little excited right there for my fantasy team there to see Jackson Smith and Jigma get that touchdown. Let's go. That's how you end the quarter. See, Mike says, "What are you doing?" Yes, found myself saying that quite a few times yesterday while watching some of these games. But man, I tell you what, though, I tell you what, who really should be asking themselves, what are they doing? Are the Miami Dolphins. Now, y'all also heard that JB projected last Wednesday that the Browns were going to beat the Dolphins, but I had no idea it was going to be a 34-7 beatdown. I have no clue what the Miami Dolphins call themselves doing out there because it sure ain't football. You let the Browns drop 34 points on you. Like, what are they doing? I have no clue. I've got no answer, no solution. Like, who will look lost? He's throwing picks left and right. I don't know what's going on. And nobody can answer a question at the press conference. They are stuttering, guys. Like it's bad down there in Miami. It's real bad. Let's see, Samuel says bad weather, severe thunderstorm, tornado. Oh man, down there in Mississippi. Let's see, SM said, JB, if the Texans miss the playoffs, should D'Amico get fired? No. I don't think he should get fired if they miss the playoff this year. I don't think he should get fired. He has shown that he's a good coach. I like his demeanor, his composure. Sometimes the odds are there are going to be times where you don't, make the playoffs there. So if the Texans don't make the playoffs, I think they got a good thing to where they just go make some adjustments, then come back firing next year, and they can easily be a top two team in the division next year. You never know what Jacksonville's gonna feel like the next year. So I don't think that they should fire him. I don't think that they should fire him. That's JB's opinion. Now the Dolphins, a whole entirely different story. And so you say bad weather there. Saturday. Oh, so it happened Saturday, Samuel. Okay, okay. All right, so Seahawks are up 14-0 at the end of the first quarter in this one, guys. And so Houston got to wake up. I know it's a nighttime game, but they've got to wake up here because if they don't, the Seahawks will put them to sleep for show. For show. As I said, you got a conspiracy theory that Dolphins owner hasn't fired McDaniels to prevent him from going to Philly. You think that's what's happening there? It very well could be. It very well could be. I wouldn't run it past them. I really wouldn't run it past them. And so, Rumbletoe, what's good? What's good? Rumblertoe, what's good? You say you like ice cream? What kind of ice cream do you like? What flavor? JV likes a lot of ice cream. Cookies and cream. Let's see. Amy said, I went live on Saturday. That's right. I did go live Saturday. That is right. I tell you what, though, I'm glad I chose the Ole Miss Georgia game as opposed to the Alabama Tennessee game. Laney, you might want to cover your ears with that one. But I saw the final score for that one. And I was like, yeah, I think I chose a better game that one because I was at first I was like, should I have chose the Tennessee Bama game? But no, the Ole Miss Georgia game was the right move. You said, what is Mike McDaniel's relationship with the Eagles? I mean, honestly, you think about what's the biggest problem that the Eagles have. They have a ton of talent with those receivers. And we know that Mike McDaniel is the offensive coordinator, really good. So who's the team that would benefit the most, that has the most potential from a Mike McDaniels? Hey, the Eagles very well could use that. They very well could use a guy like Mike McDaniels. I think Mike McDaniels is a great offensive coordinator, but he clearly can't handle the pressure and the stress that comes with being a head coach, especially when things start to get difficult. He's not a man that, installs a culture from a leadership perspective. He strikes me as a analytical type of guy that's great to sit next to in a film room. He knows what he's talking about, but he's just not a leader of men. And that's okay. Everybody can't be a leader of men. Some people got to be the ones that make the ingredients work and stuff. Some people got to purchase the ingredients. We all have different roles. But Mike McDaniels, as a head coach, that ship is sinking. Now, they had some nice runs, but their problem was always they could never win a playoff. And so it is time for the Dolphins to move on. We all know that, but they've certainly got to move on. Laney says, yeah, it was bad. Talk to me, Laney. I didn't watch the whole game. Like, I really didn't watch too much of that game there because I was, spending time with the wife at that time. But what happened in that game? Like, what happened? I really thought it was going to be a closer game, similar to what we saw when Tennessee played Georgia, and it just came down to Tennessee missing a field goal. But what happened? And see, Samuel says, well, Laney, Laney's sad Tennessee loss. And so, oh yeah, I know when I saw that final score, I was like, oh man, I was sad for Laney right there because I really thought it was going to be a close game. Really, then Laney said you didn't either. So yeah, that's tough. That's tough. That's really tough. That's really tough. Come to think of it, what is Tennessee's record right now on the year? Do they have 2 losses total so far? Or what is Tennessee's record? How about Vanderbilt, guys? Vanderbilt's just out here making it do what it do. All right, let's see. Right. Sammy said you picked Alabama to win that matchup. Okay, bet. I tell you what, I did pick Vanderbilt to get that W over LSU. I think they switched the channel on JB here, so give JB 1 second. They actually changed the channel on JB. How rude of them. All right, so 1 second, guys. They switched the channel on me to show something else. Probably was a Texans fan that was mad. Oh man, this should take JB to it. All right, so now I can watch it from where I'm supposed to originally watch it. All right, so sorry about that. The channel I was watching the game just switched from there. See referees discussing, that's never a good thing. All right, so Essom says the reason I believe something's behind the scene is going on is how the heck did you not get fired after getting blown out by the Browns? And so that is the question. That is the question because I was asking myself the same thing because I really thought a beat down by the Browns just the perfect time to move on, go to a different coach, a different direction. But I'm not complaining because I'm afraid a new coach is going to mess up my fantasy team in terms of Achon getting the points he gets me. So I'm not complaining about that, but they've got to do something different. Like try out a different quarterback, put in Quinn Ewers. I want to see what he can do. Put him in for the Dolphins or something. But they should have fired him. They really should have. All right, so here goes the Houston Texans here from their own 40-yard line. Shotgun formation. CJ Stroud looking from the pocket. Throws it. Out of bounds, incomplete in the direction of Nick Chubb. Again, we're here in the second quarter, 13 minutes, 25 seconds to go. Seahawks up 14-0. Houston Texans right now trying to find themselves. Lenny said a lot of drop passes, missed tackles, and some bad play calls was what I told you. Yeah, I think they lost two. And so, yeah, I think they lost two. I think they lost two. So do I have a Roku TV? So right now, JB has to use his laptops and stuff. My Roku TV is actually in storage, and it has been in storage since I've been in Texas the last 2 years. So I'll get the free it next year. Speaking of free, CJ Stroud freed himself in the pocket, threw it to Nico Collins, but Nico Collins, he dropped it like it bit him on a finger. My goodness. He dropped the ball like a parent dropping off their kid at daycare, man. That was wide open. Wow. Nico Collins. There's no excuse for that. No excuse for that. All right, so third down. Nobody has converted a third down so far in this game. Will the Texans be the first? Stroud throws it. Ball deflected. Incomplete. And that's going to bring out the punt unit once again here for the Houston Texans. So far in this one, CJ Stroud, 3 of 7 for 26 yards passing so far in this one. SM said, JB, what are your thoughts on Stroud? Did the league figure him out? That's an excellent question about the fall of CJ Stroud. I'm going to put it like this. Part of it is that the NFL did figure him out. Part of it is the case. But the other part is you think about the fact that the Houston Texans just traded away guys like Laramie Tunsil and stuff like that. They got rid of guys on the offensive line and they started to ask CJ Stroud, we want you to do more with less. And so you put him in a situation where now you're asking him to do more because when you're a rookie, they simplify things, make it a lot easier. But then year two, you have to take on more with a little bit less, and which, of course, that's what happens in the NFL there. But honestly, it's a little bit of that as well. Play calling isn't all that great, but honestly, it's more so the first two reasons that I mentioned there. The league did figure him out, and then after that, it's just I don't know. I say it all the time. I say football is a game of momentum. You know, like guys get hot. I've seen it plenty of times. I remember when Russell Wilson, I remember when he was in Seattle the last couple years, and I was like, Russell Wilson is a streaky passer. Like the first half of the season, he'll look great. The second half, he'll start to fade. And then I remember I was talking about Bryce Young this year because I remember me and Mike was having this conversation. I was like, hey, don't expect Bryce Young to come in this year and pick up where he left off last year. Because to me, what I saw from Bryce Young last year was a quarterback that was riding the momentum. He somehow got hot. It's not a guy that figured it out. He had just got hot at the right time. The whole team had got hot last year at the right, like towards the end of the season. It didn't mean much, but like they figured it out. But you go through a whole off season, roster changes and stuff like that, and then you have to start it all over again. You don't just pick up momentum where you left off unless you're somebody like the Kansas City Chiefs and you've got, Mahomes, you've got Travis Kelce. So football is all about rebuilding momentum. That's why Joe Burrow doesn't start off week one the way that he finishes week 17 and stuff like that. Football is all about rebuilding momentum. As for CJ Stroud, he's never been able to build that momentum again that he was able to get his rookie year. So long-winded answer right there, SM. I know, long-winded answer, but yeah, the league definitely did figure him out to a degree. And also the Texans are not doing him any favor by not giving him an offensive line to protect him. Because if you give him an offensive line, CJ Stroud can throw it. There's no doubt about that. But he's not Joe Burrow where he can go out there and lead the team to a Super Bowl with a bad offensive line. That's just not going to happen. Then it says JB, why moving to Georgia? Why moving to why not Mississippi? Well, honestly, Georgia's where the family's at, Samuel. So where the family's at, that's where JB's got to go. Run and play here for Kenneth Walker III. Oh, look at that Houston Texans defense. Look at them. Wow. They are flying to the football. Wow. That makes me happy because my opponent has Kenneth Walker III. So I'm happy about that. He is all smiles. But yeah, I bet the Vikings wish that they kept Sam Darnold. Second and 11 here for the Seahawks. Three receivers, one tight end, one back. Back goes in motion here. Going to snap the ball there. Sam struggled with the snap. Got rid of the ball quickly just to get it out of his hands there. And Cooper Cup getting shoved around there. But there is a flag. There is a flag. And again, it is Seahawks up 14-0 here in the second quarter, 12 minutes and 13 seconds to go. But hey, who here in the chat is excited for the NBA to be back? I know we're watching football right now, but who here is excited for a little NBA? Sammy says, okay, JB. Essam said, I don't know what they see in McCarthy. Well, honestly, in the draft, I was getting annoyed myself because I was like, look, I get it. Michigan won the championship. I get that. But to me, the handoff merchant didn't do anything really. He made like three throws throughout the entire game. His defenses were sending like 8 people at the running backs because they had an abundance of running backs that was really legitimately carrying the team. Plus, the offensive line, everybody was like there for a long time. They brought everybody back. So they had a lot of returning talent. So I was like, I didn't see nothing special about the kid. He just showed me that, he can throw on the run occasionally, but I didn't see anything that tells me he's a Super Bowl quarterback. But I told myself I'm not the expert. They're the expert. So maybe they see something that I don't see. And then he had that one preseason game. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to be quiet and see how he plays out. Because my thing is, he has so much talent around him. If you're a decent quarterback, how can you fail with having guys like Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison at your disposal, TJ Hawkins, having all those guys around you? How can you fail as a quarterback? Kevin O'Connor showed me what he can do with Sam Darnold, made Sam Darnold a stand-up guy. So I'm thinking, how can you fail in that system if you are truly a quarterback? So I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. Sammy says, JB, I think by from at state. Oh, Darno going deep. Oh, incomplete, incomplete. So the Texans will get the football. Hey, where do y'all think Tyler Lockett should go? Or where would be an interesting team for who do you think is going to sign Tyler Lockett? I wonder if a team like the Raiders maybe to reunite him with Pete Carroll, perhaps. And not only that, Geno Smith. I'm sure he'd love to have Tyler Lockett. But if I'm Tyler Lockett, I kind of want to be on a bad team. That's the only thing. I'm like, does he want to be on a bad team? Because he just left a bad team. But where should Tyler Lockett go? All right, punch on the way. Is the wife from Florida? She is not from Florida. She is not from Florida. All right, and again, we are here at the commercial again as we find ourselves watching the Seahawks winning 14-0, second quarter, 10 minutes and 34 seconds to go. But you know what, guys? This is around JB's favorite time. Well, next month actually is JB's favorite time because obviously we've got Thanksgiving, we've got the NFL still, we've got the NBA back, college hoops gonna be firing up as well. It is a great time, a great time. As I said, even after spending a first on JJ and then seeing what Darnold did, you don't let the guy who won you 14 games leave and think you can replace him like it's nothing. And so you're right about that. You're right about that. You are right about that. I mean, only other comparison I could think of, SM, is when you think about what the Chargers did when they had drafted Drew Brees in the second round, and then Drew Brees, after a couple starts, they went and drafted Philip Rivers. But then Drew Brees finally started looking like the Drew Brees that we know today and balled out that season. Because I remember Marty Schottenheimer and the Chargers, they were really good. I mean, my Patriots bounced them in the playoffs and all like that. We didn't have to, steal Sean Merriman celebration. But anyways, all of that stuff. So I remember the Chargers had to make a decision. Do they rock with Philip Rivers, an unknown quarterback, or do they bring back Drew Brees? And so obviously Marty wanted to bring back Drew Brees, but GM's like, nah, we drafted Philip Rivers for a reason. He's the future. We're going to go on with the future, stuff like that. So that was a case in which the team had success, about 14 games. I think they won 13 games that year. So that's very close in terms of just, coming from a winning. There's been other teams, but they didn't necessarily have, I guess, the winning similar to what the Vikings had last year. So that was the best example I could think of. As I said, that's why they're stuck with the wincing and pain. So now I was originally from Florida, Samuel, back in the day. As I said, Matt Leinart and Kurt Warner. And so yes, oh man, Matt Leinart. I really wanted Matt Leinart to be a success in the NFL. Even though I was a Buckeye fan, that version of USC was just so hard to root against. I mean, I did want to see Matt Leinart have success. All right, first and 10, Stroud throws it like this is what his problem is. Look at this. The man, how many times are we going to sit here and watch CJ Stroud running backwards, turning around? He's putting on more spin moves than a ballerina back there. Give this man some time. He has no time. No time whatsoever. No time. It's getting ridiculous at this point. By the time he gets to snap about the shotgun, the defense is already in his face, man. This is ridiculous. This is why they can't get anything going. The offensive line sucks at pass protection. There's no way about it. And CJ needs some time. He just needs some time. CJ, look at that. Look at that. Look at it again. Look at it again. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And the Seahawks, do they want to score? Who wants the football? Is it a safety? Oh my goodness. Look, woo. Y'all could put JB on the line and we'll get better results than that. As I said, I don't see McCarthy ever being as good as Philip Rivers. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I don't see that either. I don't see that either. And y'all know JB has been to bat for Philip Rivers. I have been to bat just making my case for why I think that Philip Rivers is a better quarterback than Eli Manning in terms of just career numbers and stuff. Because Super Bowl is a team achievement, all that great stuff. But individually, I would take Philip Rivers over Eli any day of the week. Any day of the week. Says Cardinals did a smart thing and chose Warner over Matt. They did. They did. And I'll tell you why. Something about a team that's experienced nothing but bad, quarterback play for a long time. And they finally got somebody to figure it out. They're like, yeah, we're going to keep him. We're going to keep him. I was so hurt when the Cardinals lost that Super Bowl to the Steelers. I really wanted that one for Arizona to win that one. For Kurt Warner, all them guys, they were a likable team. So I'm still mad about that. And so, yeah, your boy JB is originally from Miami, Florida, Samuel. So let's see. Ashton says, best McCarthy will ever be is Jimmy G. Oh, Jimmy G. for Jimmy G. All right, so we're at the commercial here. All right, so since we're at the commercial, you guys tell me one quarterback that you feel like was thrown into a terrible situation based upon where he got drafted, the time he got drafted, the coaching staff, all that stuff. You guys give me one quarterback that comes to mind when you think of, man, this kid was set up to fail back when he was drafted. I'll start it off. I'll start it off. I could easily say Jamarcus Russell. I'm not going to take that route there. I'm going to say Deshaun Kaiser. I feel like he was set up to fail when he was drafted by the Cleveland Browns because they had no talent. They had no clue how to win. And they just threw my man into the fire and he burned. I'm talking about he burned. She says, I'm back to say JB misses Jimmy Garoppolo. Nah, it's just always interesting hearing about Jimmy Garoppolo's love life and all the people that he was dating and all like that, because he definitely loved him some older women, that's for sure. That's where all that money went. So he says, let's see, she says, Kaiser played quarterback at my fight in Irish. Why are you doing him like that? I mean, the whole truth. I mean, he was set up to fail down there in Cleveland. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. I did want to see him succeed, but my gosh, from the coaching staff to the roster to the organization, no help whatsoever. I felt bad for the kids suiting up every game just to get embarrassed. CRC says, well, let's see, JB. What about Zach Wilson? Zach Wilson failed himself and stuff like that. Because I mean, they gave him Garrett Wilson. I still feel like they had a decent coach at the time. So I mean, Zach Wilson was just bad. He was just bad. I mean, he was just bad. He never had it. He didn't have that it factor about him. But that's not a quarterback being put in a bad situation. That's just a quarterback being bad. Let's see. RC says, JB, I've been in and out the chat. The Blue Jays are 1 out, afraid going to the World Series. Toronto 4, Seattle 3. All right, so I see that they took the 2 points off the board there. 2nd and 15. Let's see here. RC says, let me think about it. All right, 2nd and 15 here. Houston Texans with the football from their own 19-yard line. CJ Stroud, quick pass, completed. Picks up about 3 yards on the play. Okay. So you got a third down coming up here. 3rd and 12. Third downs have been horrendous for this Houston Texans team. I mean, it's looking bad, real bad. And let's see. Samuel says, "Dumb, dumb Saints jersey number 6 out, please." He says, "Please." Let's see. RC says, "JB, before I left the room, had 6 people in it. Where did everyone go?" I guess everyone had a bedtime. RC. Everyone had a bedtime. All right, here we go. 3rd and 12 for the Houston Texans. Quick pass, pop out a receiver, and a receiver trying to make it do what it do, but goes out of bounds there, and he's going to be well shy of that first down marker. But wait a minute, there is a flag here. Again, here in the second quarter, with about 9 minutes and 30 seconds to go here before we reach halftime. Seahawks up 14-0. RC says, JB, what about Gus Farad? Good old Gus Farad. Now that brings me back. That brings me back there, RC. Oh man, loved rooting for some Gus Farrat, but sometimes you just have bad luck, right? You heard it here first from RC. Toronto Blue Jays versus the LA Dodgers will be the two teams facing off in your 2025 World Series. If you purchase your tickets from RC, he'll throw in a free hot dog. fresh off the grill. Punts on the way. Oh, he catches it. Running, goes at about the 43-yard line. Okay. So let's see what the Seahawks will do with the football here. Again, here in the second quarter, with 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go. All right, so RC says, I would say Justin Fields, but he has been garbage everywhere he's gone. Sorry, JB, and said, there's no need to apologize. The truth is the truth. They say the truth will set you free. Well, Justin Fields needs to hear the truth and be set free from that organization. But you know what? This is exactly what the Jets should have known that they were signing up for. Exactly what they should have known what they were signing up for. You went out there, and what got me was okay, you bring in Justin Fields, I get it. You want to see what he can do, but you still should have drafted a quarterback somewhere in the first 3 rounds to at least have someone developing, just in case you're like, okay, we at least have hope for the future. So we can see what he does later on. They could have done that, but no, they chose not to. They chose not to. Let's see. RC says, JB, I might be a little more unfair than that. I would sell some homemade World Series tickets for 105,000. How about that, RC? Just imagine you end up selling out the whole stadium. You put Ticketmaster out of business. LOL, Samuel. Oh, man. Well, things are looking really good for JB's fantasy football team, especially at this rate. I may just be able to win all three of my fantasy football leagues. Let's see. RC says that 50 Cent selling top of the line liquor for 28,000 a bottle. Now I know RC done went and bought about 3 bottles, at least three. All right, so here we go. Donald up under center here. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back in the backfield. Tight end goes in motion here from their own 43-yard line. Kenneth Walker the third is the back in the backfield. 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go here before halftime. They're going to give it to Kenneth Walker the third again. And Kenneth Walker the third, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hey, W3, what's going on? It's like every time they see Kenneth Walker the third in the backfield, this defense gets ultra hyper and making sure that they shut him down. I don't know what he said to them, but I'm glad that he said it because they are keying in on him. And that's helping my fantasy football team a lot. The RC said, you're so poor you wouldn't get your hands on that if you work behind the counter at a liquor store. RC says, Samuel, he's just crazy and out there. Crazy and out there. All right, 9 minutes to go here before halftime. Again, the Seahawks up 14-0. They give it to him again. Still looking for real estate here. It's a struggle for Kenneth Walker the third, losing a yard here. My goodness. He's just not going anywhere. I mean, let Charbonnet carry the rock. Second and 11 coming up here. Again, 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go here before halftime. They're going to run it again. I picked up a couple yards here. Third down coming up. That was a 3-yard pickup on the carry. And RC says Indiana, a top 10 team for college. Apparently a top five. Apparently a top three. Apparently a top two. But what do I know, right, RC? What does JB know? But nah, overall, they are a very good team. Third and eight. Darnold throws it, gets the completion to Jackson Smith and Jigma, making it do what it do, making JB proud in the process. All right, so RC says JB start, bench, and cut. Ooh, you got Vince Carter, Dominique Wilkins, and you've got Tracy McGrady. Putting JB on the spot like that, aren't we? Putting JB on the spot. Let JB think about this one for a minute. Meanwhile, ball at the 21-yard line here. Gets the end around Cooper Cup and Coop throwing a Coop. Coop, what we doing? What we doing, Coop? Oh man, Coop can do many things, but throwing the football ain't one. Oh man, that's insane. That's nasty work right there. Coop, get it together. Why would you get creative like that? I mean, everything was flowing. You didn't have to do it. Oh man. I mean, Coop with the pass there. Oh man, Tracy McGrady was one of JB's top five favorite players back in the day. So you put me in a position I don't want to be in. This is, and you wouldn't cut T Mac either. Oh man. Well, if we're going off their primes there, then I gotta have Tracy McGrady above Vince Carter if we're going off that prime there. So Vince may have to get cut. It's tough, but get cut. Call him up for the dunk contest though. All right, and again the score is still 14-0 in the second quarter. 7:02. But when we come back, it's gonna be the Houston Texans with the football as Cooper Cup. You heard me correctly. Cooper Cup threw an interception. Now, why did Cooper Cup throw an interception? Why don't we just ask McDonald for the Seattle Seahawks? What's he doing throwing the football? But that's an entirely different conversation. But yeah, so let's see if this can spark the Texans to make a comeback. Down 14-0 here in the second. You see how she said that's what someone said earlier. They would cut Vince too. She said Vince Carter was a Whopper Jr., Michael Jordan. Yes, 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 that he was. He was. I mean, Coop looked like he never even practiced throwing a pass, man. That was a terrible pass, man. Terrible pass. Oh yeah. NBA tomorrow. Receiver goes in motion here. Two receivers top of the screen here. Play fake. Stroud throws it on the screen. Gets to the back. In the back. Oh my goodness, he's gonna lose some yards on this one. Big Murph dog got him. Big Murph dog. This he says, JB, those Tubi movies are so horrific, bro. And so you ain't got to tell JB. You ain't got to tell JB from what I seen. You talk about budget cuts. I will never forget watching this one movie that was like I forget the name of it, but these people were like literally supposed to be sharks in a cornfield, and they were using cardboard, and we were supposed to pretend like these real sharks using a cardboard, some costumes. Don't get JB started. When I say that movie didn't make it 10 minutes, I only watched it 9 because it was straight comical, but it was terrible. I said, are we letting fifth graders direct movies here? So we go 3rd and 1 here for the Texans. Stroud throws it. Gets the completion to Nico Collins. That's the Ohio State to Michigan connection there. Or she says, NBA on NBC is finally back. What are you expecting with tomorrow's game? The Rockets versus the Thunders in the nightcap game. I'm expecting the Thunders to come away with that W. Now throws it. Lost the ball again. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's a flag on the play. Dude, someone should throw a flag on JB because I sure should have started the Seahawks defense in fantasy football. Shame on me. Let's see. Samuel says, "Hey, you JB on NCAA game college basketball season opening day. Will I be live streaming that one? Probably won't do the opener, but I do plan on getting some college hoop streams in there at some point. At some point, probably not the opener though. All right, so 1st and 10 for the Houston Texans. They're gonna run the ball here, and oh, look at that! Marks making it do what it do. Gets the first down in the process. 5:05 left to go here in the second quarter. All right, so Stroud up under center here. Another run play, but this time just going to pick up a yard, and that's it. Oh yeah, you look at that offensive line changes that they made. Yeah, that explains everything right there. That offensive line is getting beat like a drum. Now the NBA, that is the question. I probably will this year. I know last year I think I avoided most of them, but I may get some NBA games in at some point. At some point. But I know my NBA streams don't typically do as well. Stroud throws it incomplete. Up there goes the flag. There goes the flag. It's a little late, but there it is. Again, here in the second quarter, with about 3 minutes and 52 seconds here before halftime. Defensive pass interference. So like an NBA team, you bet your bottom dollar I do, Samuel. Yep. I love the Lakers. All right, 1st and 10. Stroud looking. Stroud feeling the rush. Stroud says, the heck with this, takes off, then he throws it while on the run. CJ Stroud's like, look, I'm just trying to get rid of the ball at this point. All right, so we got a 2nd and 10 here in the second quarter with 3 minutes and 46 seconds to go. Houston trying to get their first points of the game. They're at the 20-yard line of the Seahawks. Oh my, CJ Stroud tripping and dipping in every single thing in the book. What what more can go wrong for this Houston team? I mean, my goodness. Let's see. RC says, JB, I've been trying to get a Iowa Addison Deal jersey, but apparently they haven't put them out yet. Not even on the NIL store website. Ooh, I was about to say, like, why not? I would think that they should already have it available, but is it typical at this point that they don't have it available? Hmm. All right, let's see. RC says JV start bench cut Bill Parcells, Bill Cowher, Jimmy Johnson. Well, first and foremost, Jimmy Johnson is going to get my start, and I'm going to bench Bill Parcells, which means I have to cut Bill Cowher. Sorry, not sorry, Bill. But yeah, I'm going to be starting Jimmy Johnson, and my bench will be Bill Parcells. That was a fairly easy one for JB. All right, so now the Houston Texans here going to look to try to get a field goal to get something here. 36-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up, and the kick, it is good. It, it. Tack on 3 more points there for the Houston Texans. Going to make this score right now Seahawks 14, Texans 3. Here in the second quarter with 2 minutes and 18 seconds to go here before the half. Let's see, Sam. It says UJB Play is a game laptop for American Truck Simulator. And so, do I have that on my laptop? I do not. Let's see. She says, JB is a San Francisco 49ers closet fan. That is correct, RC. You might want to double check your sources there. Absolutely not. I mean, I've got no beef with the 49ers because if anybody understands what is like just the hate that comes towards being a Patriot fan, it's them 49er fans. They understand, at least the older 49er fans understand, I should say. She said, JB, is it me or is this game starting to drag on? Percy, you are not alone. I noticed that that second quarter was very long in comparison to the first quarter. The first quarter came, went, left, but the second quarter has been pretty long. And I'm going to tell you why. The Houston Texans offense has not been doing anything at all in this game. I mean, absolutely anything. So that is why it is so long. It's been a struggle. It has been a struggle. Am I going to be buying it? JB will not be buying it. JB will not. JB's trying to save up any and everything. I mean, I'm just waiting on CJ Stroud to figure it out, but I don't know. He just seems so I don't know, like I don't know. I don't see that fire that I want to see from my quarterback when I look at him. I need to see that fire in his eyes that says, "Hey, we're gonna fix this." All right, so the Texans are getting ready to kick off the ball here. And we will get a return from the 5. It's at the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30. Shoved out of bounds. Are you gonna stream it one day, Samuel? Are you gonna stream yourself playing the American Truck Simulator? All right, so here goes the Seahawks here in the second quarter with about 2:13 to go here before halftime. Quick pass, caught there. Jackson Smith and Jigma to the 35-yard line. All right, and that can take us to the 2-minute mark with the score Seahawks 14, Texans 3. Seahawks have all three timeouts, and so do the Houston Texans. When we come back, Seahawks will be facing a 2nd and 5, but we are at the 2-minute warning. My bad, my bad. Let's see. RC said, JB, decisions, decisions, decisions. You say you're thinking about buying a Caitlin Clark Fever jersey or a Hawkeyes hoodie or an Afisha Collier t-shirt. You got to go with Fee. I mean, she's the MVP. So you might as well do it. You might as well do it. But if you don't take that route, then hey, a Hawkeyes hoodie can go a long way. It's about to get a little chilly out there too. You already know how cold it gets down in Chicago. It might already be cold down here in Chicago, honestly. So I ain't gotta warn you. You already know. But yeah, JB likes a good hoodie now. I ain't gonna lie. I like a good hoodie. David says, "Oh no, my old laptop. Gotcha." And so he says, "Nah, Asia Wilson's the MVP." You don't say. You don't say. You don't say. Well, the people's MVP is Fee. That's all you need to know. That's what it says. JB is so cold, but you like fall weather. So Kenneth says maybe JB needs to call baseball on the channel, everyone. So I don't know about that now. There's only one JB. If I did sports year round, JB would definitely hire out. But no, I would put you guys to sleep if I did baseball because JB does not know much about baseball. So you guys would have to coach me on every single baseball stream. That's yes, says JB thoughts on the 6-1 Colts. A pleasant surprise, and it's a reminder how being in the right situation at the right time with the right pieces around you is so important. Daniel Jones was the missing piece for this Colts offense. Who would have known? Who would have known? But I think that they're legit. I think if the Colts play the Chiefs in the playoffs, that they would beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. They're one of the very few teams that I think would actually beat the Chiefs in the playoff. I feel like so. That tells you what I think about the Colts. That I think that they would be the team to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. The only team that I like their odds. As Samuel says, new HP laptop, please, for Christmas. And so, hey, we all want that. RC said, JB, I looked to see how much a Fee Collier jersey said it was 119. You heard me clicked away. Meanwhile, speaking of clicking away, Net out there with a nice carry to midfield. My goodness. Just shoving away tackles, making it do what it do. And it says we got NBA tomorrow night for us all. And when is the next stream? The next live stream is going to be Wednesday with me, Zoe. I don't know if Old Man will be able to join or not, but me and Zoe will be going live Wednesday. And that should be 8 o'clock Eastern time. Jackson Smith and Jigma with another cat, making JB proud. There's 107 to go here before halftime. Can the Seahawks add to their lead? Darnold looking. Darnold steps up. Darnold, second bake, throws it, almost doing an interception there. He says, JB, a Michael Jordan Bulls jersey actually costs $345. Oh, wow, RC. I got to tell Mike to buy me one. Some said, only team to beat the Colts was your Rams, and you swept the AFC South. Yeah, you hit the last AFC South team in the mouth, dead in the mouth there. Show Jacksonville that they are who we thought they were. 2nd and 10. And Charbonnet going to pick up a couple yards here. Again, Seahawks moving and grooving. But yeah, I think the Colts would beat the Chiefs if they played in the playoffs as things are now. They're the only team that I like beating the Chiefs in the playoffs. Let's see, like I said, JB, for dinner you had pork steak, Brussels sprouts, pinto beans, and white rice with gravy. I guess he be living life to the fullest. Oh man. I'm gonna start calling you Chef RC at this point. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Let's see. Samuel says, RC, I think how's the laptop YouTube live stream on live chat read? And so yeah, it always pops up on the right side whenever you go live, Samuel. It's like in a little box on the right side. Let's see. As some said, Matthew Stafford, 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, third in passing yards, quietly having an MVP season. Yes, and I cannot wait for Puka Nakua to come back and help my fantasy football team. I did miss him. I mean, I scored 190 points, so I did very well, but I still missed having him out there. Darnold throws it away. Just threw that one away there, 4th and 4 coming up. Sometimes the best play is knowing when to give up on the play. Sometimes that is the best play. Let's see. RC says, JB, Tampa Bay was exposed tonight or no? I will say no, because every NFL team has a down game. Everybody has a game that's not that great. And clearly, Mike Evans not 100% out there. So were they exposed? I will say no. I mean, it's something that I feel like they can fix and get right back on track. So they were not exposed. Ooh, 53-yard field goal attempt. Oh, man. The ball looks like I kicked it, honestly. Well, so much for adding some more points there. You left 13 seconds. You left 3 timeouts there. Houston can certainly give themselves a couple shots to try to get some points of their own. Let's see, like you said, Bears 4-2 record. Is it something, nothing, or whatever? Definitely something. But when we say something, I don't mean it's like, oh, they're about to win a Super Bowl or something like that. I'm not Nick Wright out there, but I will say this, it means something because it means that they are progressing in the right direction. But you look at those two losses were what? Were they both division games? Yeah, both division games. And that's the part where you want to get those wins in division games. So until you start beating the teams in your own division, 4-2, it's nice. It's certainly nothing to sneeze at, and it shows the improvement. They are certainly getting better week by week, but you got to be able to win inside your conference before it really means anything. Meanwhile, Stroud throws one up there, and oh, nice completion. Nice completion. That's one of the few times where he felt the pressure, still stepped up in the pressure, and made the throw. Now you got 6 seconds there. Timeout called. Let's see. Samuel says, so you're going to be using your Samsung tablet and not and you can't see the live chat, is what you're saying from the Samsung tablet? I've not used my tablet to go live, but I would have to assume that it's still an option there somewhere. Essam says the trade deadline is going to be fire. Oh, for sure. For sure. Teams will take that last step to try to improve and get better. So again, just 6 seconds remaining. Texans have two timeouts here. And with 6 seconds, let's see what they do. Rose one, incomplete, leaving just 2 seconds. So 46-yard field goal attempt here for the Houston Texans to try to make it a one possession game. The kick is up and the kick, it is good. So the score right now 14-6 here at the half with the Seahawks leading, but the Texans, they've scored the last 6 points. JSM says, who do you want your Pats to trade for position? And so, well, it's easy for JB to strike to aim big and say someone like an AJ Brown who would give us that true number one. Not that Stephon Diggs is not, but if we had a big body guy like AJ Brown, that would be great. But aside from the lucid dreaming, I guess, really, I would like for us to acquire someone like another safety, because I'm still not happy about us letting Jabril Peppers go right before the season. I felt like that was a hard pill to swallow because it's like we don't have time for anybody else to bring in. So we could get someone like a safety that would be nice, I feel like. But I honestly like the team the way that we have it right now. I really do. But a safety would be a nice addition. All right. When it says using your Samsung tablet and you see people watching like a live stream. So you see people on the live, but you don't see any of the comments, is what you're saying from the tablet. Hmm, that is interesting. And again, we are currently right now here at the half. Seahawks scored 14 points in the first quarter. The Texans scored all 6 points in the second. So we'll see who dominates the third. Houston will get the football first at halftime. Man, Jahmyr Gibbs had 218 yards from scrimmage today and two touchdowns. I'm glad I was not going against him in fantasy football this week. See, them says, yeah, Brandon Graham unretiring. That's good news for the Eagles. Good news for the Eagles. There's nothing like having a veteran come in that not only for the talent perspective that he brings there, but just culture wise. When you have a team that obviously your leaders are button heads and stuff, or they're calling all these extra player meetings and stuff, and it's just like, hey guys, we just want someone that's just gonna come in and just keep their head down and show the younger guys what it's like to just go out there and compete and try to win. And that's what Brandon Graham's all about. So that's big bringing him back there for the Eagles and him unretiring. So kudos to him and kudos to the Eagles for that. But yeah, that was big news. All right, and again, we've got about a good 9 minutes and 40 seconds until the second half starts. So now's a good time for anybody to make that trip to the refrigerator. If anybody's been waiting on that. SM says that Mike Evans broke the clavicle thing. Oh man, broken clavicle. That's sad. And yeah, I was just reading up on Doug Martin a little bit earlier in the stream, and they said that he had mental health issues prior to his death. That's very sad. Very sad. And so the GOAT is in the building. What's good? Oh man, Tom Grossi back in the building. What's good? Yes, and so Mike, what's good with you? Appreciate you coming through here for the raid. And then Professor Pestilence, what's good? What's good? And just another Katie, what's good? Says Grossi Posse Raid, sending love. Appreciate that and appreciate you. Williams, what's good? Grossi Raid, go Bills and go Pack, go. Then Jeff coming through with the raid here. Appreciate you, Jeff, dude. And then Lyman was good. Grossi raid. Appreciate that and appreciate you. Brandon coming through with the raid and sending love. Having wrong also part of the raid here was good. And then Chase also was good to you. And again, Grossi is the GOAT. Oh man, seeing everybody live here was good. Trevner was good. The red Grossi posse was good. And then Lucid Dude was good with you. Austin was good. And then you got Carlos is saying, hi, what's good with you? And then Jeff Dude says, Grossi Raid, appreciate that and appreciate you guys coming through, showing some love to JB Nation and company. What's good? Thanks for coming through with the raid here, guys. Got Gaming with Sean, what's good? What's good? Yeah, Carlos here with the raid. What's good with you? Jason coming through. Jason 49ers there with the raid. What's good? And again, Grossi raid. Appreciate you guys coming through here, showing support for your guy. Yes, dude. Mr. Air Duff, what's good? He says, go Seahawks there. And then Kevin coming through with the raid. And then Javon, what's good? Giovanni with the raid. And then Big Anime, what's good with you? What's good? Heard in the raid, he say. And then Gullier, what's good? What's good? Appreciate you guys coming through here again for the raid here. JB appreciates each and every one of you. Colin coming through saying Grossi Raid, sending some love and so much love back to you guys. Thanks again. And then Rachel saying Grossi Raid, sending love. Thanks again. SM says we got a raid. W raid. That's right. Because when the GOAT comes through, everybody pays attention. And Tom Grossi is that GOAT. What's good? Tech Mac says Grossi Raid and go Hawks. Hey, that's what's up. I feel a lot of love for the Seahawks here tonight. And so Ken says Grossi Raid, what's good with you? Dan, I can. Gross Raid, appreciate you and appreciate you coming through. And so there we go, saying hi there. What's good? What's good? And so Jeff Dude says Grossi Raid. Thanks again, Jeff Dude. And then Steve AK coming through with the raid here. Paving also with the Grossi raid. Appreciate that. Gully are coming through as well with the raid. Thank you so much for coming through, Trevor. Grossi raid, thank you so much. And Edward coming through with the raid as well. And let's see, Gullier says, yo, what's good? Talk to me, what's good? I see a lot of Seahawks fans here. Makes JB happy to see it. And then Scott coming through here with the raid. What's good with you? Then Big Anime says, Perna, what's good? And then Jose Gonzalez says, Grossi raid, thanks for coming through. Yes, again, thank you guys so much for coming through here with the raid. You guys are all the MVPs. Sorry if JB sounds a little tired here. Long day here. I promise JB does not sound as bad always, but thanks again for coming through. We got Chris coming through here for the raid as well. Edward Wade says, Grossi, thank you so much. And then, yep, Losh coming through for the Grossi raid. Appreciate that and appreciate you guys coming through. Ayo Saba as well for the raid here. And then Slicker Stir as well for the Grossi raid. Thank you so much. Jeremiah coming through here for the raid as well. Thanks again, Jeff, dude. Appreciate you, dude. Coming through here for the Grossi raid as well. And then Colin Martell saying raid. And Intolerable Left coming through for the Grossi raid. Thanks again. Nathan coming through for the Grossi raid. It says go Patriots. And so, hey, he gets me. He gets me. Another Patriots fan here. Absolutely love it here. What a great season we're having. And so Edward Ray says, yo, what's good? And then Unsung Gable Name says Grossi raid. Thanks again for coming through here. Got Vampire as well coming through for the Grossi raid as well. You guys rock. the real MVPs. Jeff Dew saying Grossi Raid here, and Eric Will saying Raid. Let's see, Jason 49ers, just smash that like button, y'all. Thank you so much. And again, appreciate all the love here. Absolutely. And Emily Jared, what's good with you? And then Cassie says, greetings. Thanks again for the greetings here. And hey, welcome to the JB Nation. And so Kobe coming through with the Grossi Raid as well. Thanks again. The Jeff Grossi Raid. Gaming with Sean says Grossi Raid. Thanks again. SM says W Raid. Crazy Cow says Grossi Raid. Thanks again. Edward says, what up? And so, hey, nothing like some good football, right? Absolutely. But thank you guys for coming through. Tigers 2026 is Grossi Raid. Thanks again. Let's see. Ann says Grossi Raid and sending love. Thanks again. I appreciate that and appreciate you guys coming through. William says Grossi Raid and go Bills and go Pack, go. And then Crazy Couch says Raid. Jim coming through with the raid. Grossi Raid. Yes. And then Flicker says, don't forget to press that like button. Thanks again so much. Jordan says, Grossi Raid. Appreciate that, Jordan. And then Fix coming through here with the raid as well. Grossi Raid. Yes. And let's see. Pestilence says, all good. Let's see. Fanning says, Raid. Appreciate that and appreciate you. Let's see. Won't let me choose the name. I like the YouTube name. They love it. Grossi Raid. Appreciate that and appreciate you. Liz Meyer says, Grossi Raid. Appreciate that. Thank you. Then let's see. Big Anime says, Perna Raid. And so, okay, coming through there for the Perna Raid there. Appreciate that. Let's see. Cheeto says, Grossi Raid. And so, oh, man, how about that? Appreciate you guys. Corey coming through here with the Grossi Raid. Go Pack, go. And so Noah coming through with the raid. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. And so, hey, I guess this is why your boy JB had to wear yellow today. I had to wear the yellow day. Who would have known it would have brought the Packer fans out? Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Grossi Raid and Fins up. And so, hey, Fins got a lot of work to do, but hey, they'll get there, right? They will get there. Jeff Robbins coming through saying Grossi Raid. Appreciate that. And let's see. Appreciate you coming through here for the Grossi Raid as well. You've got Frank Powers also for the Grossi Raid and the thumbs up. Appreciate that and appreciate you. And then Haynes Myers, what's good? What's good? Oh, yeah, JB is all smiles tonight. And let's see, you say go Bills, yes. And so, hey, coming off a bye week, the way the Buffalo Bills are, I expect them to right the ship moving forward. And it's going to be a very interesting part of the rest of the season. That much I do know. And then BRMP 11 coming through with a Grossi Raid here. T Breeze 33 coming through with a Grossi Raid. Okay, another Go Pack Go. Appreciate that and appreciate you. And then Lookalike 02 with the Grossi Raid and says Go 49ers. So we got someone to represent the 49ers here. Okay, hey, 49ers been finding a way to get some W's here despite all the injuries and doing it with Mac Jones. Very impressive indeed. Not to mention what Chris McCaffrey did for my fantasy football team last night. So I'm very happy about that as well. And so won't let you choose the username. Says Raid. Appreciate you coming through once again. And then Sean says go 49ers. Okay, okay. Ryan says Grossi Raid. Then we got Kobe coming through here for the raid as well. And then unsingable name, go saying go Pack go. Appreciate all of you guys coming through. And again, if JB misses your comment by chance there, it's all love there. And appreciate you guys coming through. And let's see, Mom says Grossi Raid. Appreciate that and appreciate you. Lauren coming through with the Grossi Raid as well. Thank you so much. Let's see, Crew Slang says, yo, what's up, homie? And so, hey, what's good with you? What's good with you? Appreciate you guys coming through. Robert Fowles coming through with the Grossi Raid as well. And so, hey, Grossi Raids know how to perform a raid. Let's see, David says Grossi Raid. Appreciate that and appreciate you coming through. And then Tom Booth says, Raid, appreciate that. Meanwhile, the game is now back in action now, in which the Houston Texans with the football trailing by 8 points, 14-6 here in the third quarter. And let's see what Houston can do. They scored the last 6 points here, but offensively, offensive line has got to do something out there. Every time I look, CJ Stroud, he is out there turning around, running for his life here, just throwing something up. Offensive line has got to give him time to go out there and to make some plays. We've got Ryan coming through with the Grossi Raid as well. Appreciate that, Ryan. And so let's see, Vass coming through for the raid here. Appreciate that and appreciate you. And then Samuel says, hey, everyone, y'all in the raid. And so Quorum coming through, Grossi raid. Appreciate that and appreciate you. Meanwhile, running back on the carry off the left guard. They're going to pick up about 3 yards on the carry. They're just going to make it 2nd and 7 coming up here for the offense for the Houston Texans here. And again, first opening drive here of the second half here, down 14-6. Can they put it together and get to the end zone? That is the real question. We've got user coming through here saying, hey, what's good with your user? How are you? Kashi says, hey, how are you doing? And so, hey, I'm doing great. I'm surprisingly energized for this time of night. So JB is doing great, but appreciate that. And I hope you're doing well also. How are you? And let's see. Joe Stewart coming through with the Grossi Ray. What's good with you? Stroud. Throws it over the middle. He threw an interception. Oh my goodness. He threw it right to the Seahawks. He was not touched. He's still running. Still running. Going on about the 15-yard line. Oh my goodness. It's not even Christmas yet. And CJ Stroud is out here delivering packages and gifts. I mean, my goodness. Now I do see a flag that came in very late here. But man, CJ Stroud, what are you doing out there? I mean, this is insane. Now let's see what the referees have to say about this, but that was insane. That was insane. He threw that right to him. And then Lorenzo, what's good? You said Grossi Posse says hello. And so yes, hello, and what's good? G Breeze says Grossi raid. Appreciate you coming through here, part of the raid there. And then Book of Seth Mommy says Grossi raid. Appreciate that. Appreciate the hearts. Much love to you. And I hope you are doing well. Let's see. Denny Street says Grossi Posse raid. I'm sorry, Grossi raid. And so I appreciate you coming through. And yes, I see the T's there. So good time to be a Packer, right? Great time to be a Packer. Always a good time to be a Packer. And so snacks related mishap. What's good with you coming through as part of the raid there? And so Yoan says Grossi raid and go Owls. And so, hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you coming through. All right, so now you've got a Seahawks team that's going to capitalize off this momentum right here. Jackson Smith and Jigma goes in motion. It's a play fake to Kenneth Walker III, throws the ball there, and it's incomplete. And that time, I'm not sure if he was targeting the tight end or the receiver. I think he was targeting the receiver, and the tight end thought it was for him, and so messed up that pass there. But right now, we've got a 2nd and 10 coming up here for the offense of the Seattle Seahawks, who lead this from 14-6 and trying to capitalize off that turnover that they just had. But yeah, you can see clearly that ball was intended for Horton. And Sam Darnold is frustrated because his own guy deflected the ball. But hey, can't blame the guy. He had no way of knowing. And let's see. Frost says, Grossi rated, much love. Appreciate that and appreciate you for coming through and showing love. And so appreciate the hearts, my guy Denny. Kenneth Walker III on the carry. This might be his best run of the game so far. Look at that second push there. Referees had to break that one up there. Kenneth Walker III making it do what it do. Christy says, Grossi Ray sending love. Appreciate you guys coming through. And again, Grossi is the GOAT for sure. And let's see. The Growls Fanning says, yo, what's good? Let's see. Christine says, Grossi Ray sending love. Appreciate that and appreciate you coming through showing love. You guys are the real MVPs. And so there it is. There it is. Appreciate that, Denny. Barely coming through with the fire emojis there. Appreciate you. Kenneth Walker to throw in the carry again, and he's going to pick up about 2 yards on the play. So now you got a decision time. 4th down coming up here, 4th and 1. What do you do here? There's 12:55 to go here in the 3rd quarter play. And again, the Seahawks leading this one 14-6 right now. Obviously, if you get a 1st down there, that'd be so huge. Your defense just put in so much work to get that interception there. And so they're going to get the offense out there to go for it. So far tonight, they are 1 of 1 on 4th down. Can they make it 2 of 2 here on this play? And again, they're at the 29-yard line of the Houston Texans here. So they've got 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. They're going to fake it to the back. Sam Darnold going to throw it. He's going to get the completion to Jackson Smith and Jigma. If I was quarterback, and I'd throw it to him as well. Good things happen when you throw the ball to Jackson Smith and Jigma. And I'm not just saying that because he's on my fantasy football team. I legitimately believe that he's an excellent weapon. And let's see, snack-related mishap test. Kitty goes meow. And then you've got Nathaniel Anderson coming through showing some love here. Says Grossi Posse sending love. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to JB. And then we've got D-Mac coming through as part of the Grassy Raid. What's good with you? Got Astro Clips saying, yo, what's good? And we've got a super here coming through here. So I appreciate the super. Oh man, thank you so much coming through here, showing some love to JB. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. How are you? Again, coming through here with the super for JB. Absolutely. SM says, this is lit. Yes, it is. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. All right, let's see. 2nd and 7 here for the Seahawks. Play fake. Looking. Darnold. Risk it. Get the completion. Might be a yard pickup on the play, but now you got your third down coming up here. 3rd and 6. So if you're the Houston Texans here, you got to hold them to a field goal. So far, Houston has been able to score field goals, but they have not been able to get into the end zone. You certainly don't want the Seahawks to get into the end zone again if you're rooting for the Houston Texans. But if you're rooting for the Seattle Seahawks, you know how important it is to come away with a touchdown right now, especially while Houston is struggling offensively to find the end zone and just to give yourself some more cushion. So let's see what happens here. 3rd and 6. Got to be looking for Jackson Smith and Jigma on this play, one would think. Kenneth Walker III goes in motion here. You've got 2 receivers bottom of the screen here. 2 seconds on the play clock. Darnold looking. Darnold throws one up there. And it's always incomplete. Incomplete. Tried to find Horton there in the end zone, but overthrew him. Incomplete. 4th down coming up. And that will bring out the field goal unit here for the Seattle Seahawks here in the 3rd quarter, about 10 minutes and 37 seconds here in the 3rd quarter. Let's see. Casey says, Gross I raid. And so I appreciate you coming through here as part of the Grossy raid. Appreciate that. Let's see. Robert says, have a good night, man. I appreciate that, Robert. You have a good night as well. And I appreciate you coming through. And let's see. User says, thanks for acknowledging us. And so, hey, JB does his best now. JB does not do the best at pronouncing some of these names here, but I appreciate each and every one of you guys that came through and took the time to show JB some love. I appreciate that and appreciate you guys for sure. And let's see, Sakin says, raid and have a good stream. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming through as part of the raid. And so, oh man, you guys sure know how to travel well, and I appreciate you guys. And then Count Mayo says, Grassy Raid, appreciate you coming through. And then Jose Gonzalez said, Grassy Raid and go Panthers, go. And so, yeah, hey, the Panthers, they won like what, 4 in a row now? So, hey, they're finding ways to get W's. That's what it's all about. So, congratulations there to the Carolina Panthers. And if you can do JB a favor and start Rico Dowdle the rest of the way at running back, JB will be extremely happy if the Panthers did that and help my fantasy team out that way. Quorum says, nice shirt. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yes, I appreciate that. Kobe says, go Strauss. And so, oh, my man, CJ Strauss. I love CJ Strauss. Going back to Ohio State. Love him. Christy says, sending likes and love. I appreciate that so much and appreciate you coming through here, showing a lot of love here to JB. Appreciate that. Let's see. Ken Penn says, Grassy Raid. Thank you so much for coming through. Eric says, let's go Bills and Grassy Raid. And so appreciate you. And yes, how about them Buffalo Bills there? I know that they're extremely focused here, and rest of the way, they're going to be a tough team to deal with. We'll see how that plays out. And then Honey Badger says, Grassy Raid, thanks for coming through. And so, Harley, what's good? What's good? What's good? Appreciate you coming through. How are you? Talk to me. How are you? And then Denny says, what's good back at you? I tell you what, we are the real winners. JB loves this time of the year. It's a great time of year. We get to watch, obviously, the NFL. We've got college football. Those two are basically at the heart. You know, if you like baseball, MLB, you know, World Series coming up soon. We're going to have college hoops, NBA starting tomorrow. It's a great time. So what's there to complain about, right? So, hey, JB's living life. JB's living life. And let's see, Nathan says, Grassy Raid and go Patriots there. And so, y'all, if you don't know, JB is a diehard Patriots fan. If you don't know, I mean, diehard Patriots fan. And so I'm just really enjoying everything I'm seeing this season, from Drake May's development to the team development, having Mike Vrabel as a coach and the direction that he is sending the team. That just makes JB like extremely, extremely happy to watch all of that. So great time, great time. I'm actually enjoying this season, unlike the last couple seasons. So I'll say that. And so Ramirez come through with the raid. Appreciate you coming through here for the raid. Yes, thank you so much. And then Sean said, "What's good?" And so just living the dream. Just living the dream. Let's see. Ken Penn says, like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, kickoff on the way here for the Houston Texans. Got it to 20, 25, 30, knocked out at about the 34-yard line, and that's where the Houston Texans will take over, finding themselves trailing 17-6 here in the third quarter with 10 minutes, 26 seconds to go. So if you're the Houston Texans, you go out there, run your offense as normal. Obviously, you got plenty of time here, no need to panic. But what you do need is you're gonna have to find a way to establish this ground game and just make life a little bit easier right now for CJ Stroud. Because every time he's dropping back in the pocket, there is nothing but pressure in his face. I mean, he hardly has time to where he can look forward. He's running for his life, all of that stuff. So if you can get the running game going, I feel like later on that can help out with the pass game, but they've got to get it going on this drive here, I feel like. So Zork says, Grossi Posse Ray, go pack, go. I appreciate you coming through. Play fake. Stroud throws it. Incomplete, incomplete. They were all over Nico Collins on that one. Excellent defense there for the Seattle Seahawks. 2nd and 10 coming up. And so Mallory coming through as part of the Grossi raid. Appreciate you, Mallory, for coming through. And then Honey Badger says, hello. Hello back at you, Honey Badger. And so I've always been a fan of that nickname there, Honey Badger, like going back to the LSU days with Tyrone Matthew. But yeah, excellent name there. All right, Stroud up under center from his own 32-yard line. Play fake again, pressure in front of him, throws to the tight end that time, and Schultz turning on the Jets there. Nice pickup and a first down. And again, you need stuff like that because as soon as he turned around from that play action fake, the defense was already in his face coming. They are bringing the heat to CJ Stroud. So he's got to get that ball out quickly. But now the ball almost at midfield, under 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter of play. CJ Stroud looking, throws one up there. I think he's just throwing it away. That's exactly what's taking place right there. And there is a flag on the play. Let's see. Unsingable name says it's all good. I appreciate that. And let's see. Don says, Grossi Ray, thanks for coming through. Ken Penn says, like and subscribe. Honey Badger says, Grossi Raid. Ryan says, massive dubs. And so thank you so much there, Ryan. And Ken says to like and subscribe. Let's see. Ken says, like and subscribe. And then Count Mayo says, go Lions. And so, hey, how about them Lions? How about them Lions? I really like that. I did choose the Lions to beat the Buccaneers earlier today, and they proved me right there. I just felt like being at home was going to make the difference for the Lions, but I like what they did defensively. That was very impressive. And I feel like I needed to see that from the Lions from a defensive standpoint in terms of just being able to shut down a team like Tampa Bay, in which I mean, if we're being honest, Baker Mayfield prior to this point was looking like the league MVP. And he was doing it with receivers coming in and out of the lineup. So Tampa Bay was looking good. So that was a big win that Detroit definitely wanted and needed to have, and they got it. So shout out to your Lions for getting that W earlier today. And so here we go here. 2nd and 6. Crowd up under center, got a fullback back in the backfield. 2 receivers on the play. Play fake. Stroud throws it over the middle. Complete, dangerous pass. I mean, he just threw Nico Collins just in the middle there, and he got lit up. But nothing was there. Again, 3rd and 6 here in the third quarter with 9 minutes and 4 seconds to go. And again, the Seahawks up 17-6 right now. And let's see. Loenza says, Steeler fan and member of the Grossi Posse. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'll tell you what, though. Despite what just took place with the Bengals and stuff like that, the Steelers have been having themselves a season. They've just been finding ways to win and stuff. But that Bengals won a division game. Sometimes that stuff happened there. But overall, great season so far for the Steelers. Crowd on 3rd and 6. Stays in the pocket. Throws it up there, and the running back struggled to make that catch. He bobbled it, but they're saying he didn't. They're saying he didn't. They're saying it's incomplete. Either way, 4th down is going to come up either way there. So 4th and 6 coming up. So just like that, the Houston Texans offense stalls once again here in the third quarter with 8 minutes and 54 seconds to go. Excellent job there by the defense defender Thomas to not give up on disrupting that pass. Let's see. And Monabe says, Grassy Raid, send love, and a Colts fan. And so, Colts fan. Okay, okay. Yeah, my father's a Colts fan as well. And so, how about that? 6-1 so far this season, and having the season that the Colts are having. I mean, I'm glad I got Jonathan Taylor on my fantasy football team, but Daniel Jones has been looking great. The whole Colts team has been looking good. Just not the offense, the defense as well has been getting after quarterbacks and stuff. So the Colts look legit. I said earlier on the stream I view the Colts as a team in the playoffs that could beat the Kansas City Chiefs should they face the Kansas City Chiefs. And I won't say that about a lot of teams, but I do feel like the Colts match up very well with a team like the Kansas City Chiefs if they were to meet in the playoffs. So if it does happen and the Colts end up beating the Chiefs, remember your boy and be like, hey, JB said so. So, but that's what I see about the Colts and what they've done so far this season. And let's see, Ken Penn says like and subscribe. Let's see, Sagan said you liked and subscribed, and we rocking. I appreciate that, my guy, coming through here and showing support here and joining JB Nation. I appreciate that, and I appreciate each and every one of you for taking time to come through here on the live stream tonight. Let's see, Honey Badger says we love you, and so it's all love, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys coming through, and again, apologize if I'm taking too long to get to your comments here, guys, but I do want to make sure to go through everybody's comments here at least as much as possible for sure. But yes, a lot of love from JB for you guys as well. And Tom is the GOAT. Tom Grossi is the GOAT for sure. Let's see. Steven says, go Seats Ticking. Yes. Honey Badger says, like. Let's see. Unsungable Name says, how's the game going? So the game is going like this. So right now, the Seattle Seahawks defense has been dominating this game. Like the defensive line and the blitz and just everything that the defensive coordinator is throwing at the Houston Texans, it has been working there. Now, for the Seattle Seahawks, they did most of their scoring in the first quarter, but since then, they've kind of slowed down. So it seems like Houston has kind of figured them out a little bit in that sense. But overall, first, like early on, it was all Seahawks, but now a little bit more even now. Texans, they're getting the field goals occasionally, but really the story is until Houston shows me they can get into the end zone, I don't see them winning this game unless they can finally get into the end zone. They're gonna have to do it at some point, and it's not looking like they can do it. You think I'm mad I didn't start the Seahawks defense in fantasy football over the Steelers defense? I started the Steelers defense, and that was not the right move to make this week. So I wish I would have started the Seahawks defense the way that they're playing. 50 says hugs and likes for you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's see. Dude says, who am I rooting for in this one? Well, honestly, I'm a neutral person in this one, but I have been rooting for the Seahawks because I've got Jackson Smith and Jigga on my fantasy football team. So just trying to secure that victory there. But yeah, I was hoping for a good game. But if the Seahawks win, I'm happy with that. So I guess you can say if I had to pick one, it would be the Seahawks. All right, 1st and 10. Kenneth Walker the third tripped up on the play, picked up about a good 3 yards on the play. But yeah, my overall team though is the Patriots though. So best believe this season's going a lot better than I could have hoped for. Let's see. Samuel says to everyone, y'all rate for he says like and subscribe and have that notification bell turned on. Appreciate that, Samuel. Let's see. Zork says this ain't no fail Mary raid. Tyson says that Grossi is the GOAT. Oh, for sure. Oh my, look at this. Oh wow, appreciate that super James. I appreciate that, man. My man coming through and just making it rain out here. Says love your energy, keep it up. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And sorry it took me so long to get to your super. I don't know what happens, man, but it seems like I don't get notified immediately when it happens. But when I do come across it, I'm like, oh man, I apologize it took so long there, but I appreciate that. Yes, I appreciate that. And I appreciate you, James, the real MVP. Let's see. Haynes says, Lions fan here and have a great night. And so, hey, good night to you. And I know you're feeling good. I know you're feeling good for sure. All right, Seahawks. Oh, look at that. They got Sam. Oh, my goodness. He looked at the ball. He lost the ball. Are you kidding me? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Sam Darnold, what are you doing? Look at the Seahawks fans' reaction here. They can't believe it. At 1 second, you're looking at, okay, you're up 17-6. You're thinking maybe we can score a touchdown on this drive or something. And then a mistake like that happened. Now, Sam Darnold, as a veteran in this league, you got to understand when it ain't there, you get rid of the ball. You don't do that kind of stuff. Now, let's look at the replay here and see what happened. All right. So, this all started. The left tackle did his best, but when Sam Darnold tried to escape the pocket, running around like it's like Ring Around the Rosie or something like that, he messed up his own lineman. He messed up his own lineman. He should have found some way to throw this ball near a receiver, out of bounds, and just move on. But now, not only did he get that, it would have been bad enough to give up 2 points. He gave up a touchdown. A touchdown. Wow. Play fake from Stroud. Stroud, will he keep it and run? No, he's going to throw it incomplete. He went for the 2 point play, incomplete. But Houston, given a gift, the defense did. Wow. So now we're looking at a 17-12 ball game. This changes everything, guys. This changes everything. Honey Badger says, Grassi. Yes, Eric says, thanks for the shout out. And so, oh, of course, Eric, I appreciate you guys. And let's see, Unsingable Name says, who you got for the W tonight? I still got the Seahawks winning this one. I still got the Seahawks winning this one, getting the W there. I just believe in their offense a little bit more than I believe in the Houston Texans right now offensively. And Seahawks defense has been playing good. But hey, if Sam Darnold's going to give the game like that, I might need to reconsider. But I got the Seahawks right now. Let's see. Trevor says, you're a Patriots fan. You say, I'm jealous of the optimistic outlook for the Patriots. And so, yes, I mean, believe me, you talk about eating some humble pie the last couple years. I have seen it all. Everything from going from Jarrett Stidham at first and Brian Hoyer and that debacle to bringing in Cam Newton and then going to Mac Jones and looking real bad, looking real bad. I'm not gonna lie, it was looking real. It was to the point where people were rooting for Bailey Zappe to get in there, Joe Milton the third to get in there, and then we finally get it right. We bring in our guy, Drake May, and now it's like we never left almost. So it feels good to have hope. It feels good to have hope. I will say that. Let's see. SM says, "Don't worry, guys. JB will catch up in hours." Oh man. Let's see. Unthinkable name says, "Sub for the next Pats game, play by play. See ya in the Super Bowl." That's right. Hey, we gotta get our tickets, right? Catch them on sale now. RC says, "Now that I'm good and full, still, it's time to clean this kitchen." Isn't that the fun part, RC? Let's see. RC said, "JB got his chat destroyed. LOL. He will catch up at 3:34 a.m." SM says, CJ's trash. Don't do that to CJ. Don't do it to CJ SM. Now, he needs an offensive line. That's what he needs. He needs an offensive line. I guarantee if he had a better offensive line, we'd see a better CJ Stroud. But he needs an offensive line. And I guess he needs his best friend back, Tank Dell, because he's acting like without Tank Dell, he's not that same guy. So he needs his best friend back. Let's see. Samuel says JB looked crazy, looked 101 and now and 109. I know, right? Yeah, I appreciate everybody coming through, but man, let's see, this comment was about 17 minutes ago. Yeah, oh man, JB's way behind. Way behind. And so Howard coming through says, if the Seahawks win tonight, you said I win a 1,000 survivor pool. Please, Hawks. You know what? For you specifically, Howard, I'm hoping that the Seahawks come through here because JB loves it to see everybody win money and stuff like that. And that right there, I hope it wins. I hope it comes through for you. I really do. Arthur said JB starting to look a little. Oh man. SM says the NFC West and North both got an argument for best division. And so you know what? If we're picking one, which one do we pick right now? Because it's so hard to pick. It's so hard to pick. It just comes down to true contenders versus pretenders, honestly. But it's still too early because I like what I'm seeing from both divisions. But if we're talking from head to toe, I gotta give the North a little advantage because the Cardinals was holding back the West. Meanwhile, oh, what a beautiful pass to Jackson Smith and Jigma. Look at that. That's a beautiful pass right there. That's a beautiful pass. And Sam Darnold knows he got to make up for that last touchdown he just gave up. That's on him. But when you're, in the NFL, you got to make up for your mistakes. This is how you do it. Beautiful pass. Beautiful pass. Let's see. SM said, JB not catching up until tomorrow. Come on, SM. Let's see. Unsingable Name says, as bringing down the average for NFC. Yeah, Arizona's bringing down the average for the NFC West, but they're better than their record, to be frank. And so, hey, the way that they're performing with Jacoby Brissett the last couple games has been impressive. They fought the Colts tooth and nail with Jacoby Brissett. Same with the Packers, and they were in those games. So you're right; they are better than their record says. I want to see Marvin Harrison Jr. be the receiver that I know he can be. That's what I'm waiting on. She said, JB, what the heck? You said SMJB won't see our messages until week 12 of the NFL season. Come on, RC. You said, it's been nice knowing you, JB. Let's see, SM said, oh, yeah, I forgot about Arizona. They're not good at all, and they stay that way until they move on from Collar. And so let's see, RC says, start bench cut dinosaur fossils, Benjamin Franklin's buckle shoes, in the museum, LeBron James. Come on, RC. And so James again with the super again. Says no worries, man. You say you're a Bears fan, so you've learned patience. Hey, I really, really, really do appreciate the supers, my guy James. Like I really do appreciate that. And man, as a Bears fan, I will say this. Four and two, the Bears have learned how to win close ball games. That is what my takeaway so far from the Bears is. They've learned how to win and then win close ball games. Whether it was earlier with the block kick against the Raiders or you look against the Commanders where they didn't turn the ball over. They are learning how to close games. Now they got to take it to that next evolution. Start winning some of these division games. Right now, those two losses, both are in the division. But hey, I expect that this team is going to continue to grow. Ben Johnson's putting his thumb on his team, and the sky's the limit, right? Sky's the limit. Let's see. Looking at the game again, it's currently right now, third quarter, 5 minutes and 32 seconds to go. The Seahawks are up 17-12, but right now, got a fourth down coming up here, a 4th and 3 for the Texans defense doing some work, but a 47-yard field goal attempt. Will Jason Myers make it? He's 1 of 2 so far tonight. Can he convert? The kick, it is good. So tack on 3 more points here for the Seattle Seahawks who lead this one 20-12 after that field goal. That's a big field goal right there. Here in the third quarter with 5 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. All right, let's see. Let's see. Zork just came back for your reaction. The Grassi Posse repping. Hey, I appreciate that, Zork. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you coming here and supporting JB. Let's see. RC says, JB, for crying out loud, bro. He said, can you please catch up to real life in the chat there? And so you say you're the real MVP. And so I'm going to try. I'm going to use the commercial and I'm going to try. Zork, I remember the old Pats logo back in the era when Favre came in on Magic Matabuski. And so, oh, man, thinking about those days there just remind me of losing to the Packers in that Super Bowl there. Uh, let's see. SM says, resign, trade, let walk. Brees Hall, Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne. Well, I feel like when it comes to Bryce, you trade. I'm sorry, Brees Hall. You trade Brees Hall. You re-sign Kenneth Walker the third. You got a good thing going between him and Charbonnet in terms of a 1-2 punch. You might just have to let Travis Etienne walk, though. In all honesty, I feel like they can do better with a more consistent running back. That's what I would do for my re-sign trade and let walk. Or she said, my Cowboys heading to the playoffs, baby. They might. See, James says, do you think Justin Fields will be better in a Taysom Hill role instead of a pure quarterback? You know what? In all honesty, you see, because Taysom Hill, the only thing is I know Taysom Hill can catch. I don't know if Justin Fields can catch, but is he someone that certainly could be in like similar roles in terms of how they use Taysom Hill from a quarterback perspective? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know what the Jets thought they were doing when they signed Justin Fields and didn't even have a backup plan. They didn't have a backup plan. They didn't draft a young guy that they could develop. At least the Giants, when they signed Russell Wilson, they had drafted Jackson Dart because they knew that their future was going to be in good hands. But they said, you know what? We're going to roll the dice on Justin Fields, knowing good and well that we don't have anybody here to develop a quarterback. It's not like, like say, when we've seen some of these quarterbacks recently, think Sam Darnold went to a team like Minnesota where he can develop and stuff like that. No, he's not going to develop there. Just throw him into the fire, and then it didn't work. So yeah, he may be a better fit for a Taysom Hill type of role. He certainly ain't the quarterback. I tell you that much. He is not the quarterback. We've just seen too much. The thing I don't like about Justin Fields the most, even when he's having a good game, he doesn't have any clutch genes to him. I've seen him in Chicago when the Bears would be in a close game, Justin Fields would find a way to fumble it, throw an interception, find some way to lose the game in the end, make a mistake at the worst possible time. That's what he does. So to me, that might be the best thing for him. Put him in a Taysom Hill type of role. I think that worked. She says, I smell KFC. Somebody smells like KFC in this thing. Who is it? That's the said, JB, this is very much a make or break women's college basketball season for you. How so? He said, I might not be able to do my best though. Why? I got a kid in the way. I got a bunch of interviews. I got family issues, mental health, shakiness, struggling in the job market. Hey, that job market is a real issue these days. I'm telling you that. You said life is lifting on you. But hey, I tell you what, the kid brings hope and it reminds you why you're doing everything that you're doing. Now you've got kid number 3 on the way. So that's big. That's big. So it's only going to give you more reason to try that much more harder. But you're right though. I mean, it's been tough. It's been tough. And she said, but even with all that going on, JB, I'll do my best to try to hang in there, Boston. So, well, JB is always here if you ever need to reach out for a helping hand there. JB is here. Let's see. Zork says, Favre, Rogers, Love, has any other team only gone that long with only 3 franchise quarterbacks? Still bitter for the fell Mary? I mean, hey, to go on to 3 quarterbacks in a row like that, I cannot think of one off the top of my head that happened. I mean, because even with the 49ers, they went from, obviously Montana to Young, but then after Young was what, Jeff Garcia? I believe that was the last one, Jeff Garcia. So he messed that one up. I mean, not to say that Jeff Garcia was bad, but he wasn't on the same level as the previous 2. And so Haynes, appreciate the super chat. You say Lions versus Patriots Super Bowl? Let's hope. Hey, that would make JB happy. That would make JB happy. But the thing is, though, I do want to see the Lions win a Super Bowl. I really do. There are 2 things that JB wants to see happen in his lifetime. I want to see the Lions win a Super Bowl, and I want to eventually see the Arizona Cardinals win a Super Bowl at some point in my lifetime. I want to see that. I do want to see Lamar Jackson get a Super Bowl ring as well. So if that's a third thing, but just, the Lions and the Cardinals are 2 teams that I would love to see in the future win a Super Bowl. Because I know that their fans have been through so much over the years, so much over the years. I'm not even going to say the Browns because right now the Browns are not acting like a team that wants to win anything. But man, appreciate you guys. And I can't believe it. Did I actually catch up on the comments here? I think I'm all caught up. 3-1. In the third quarter with 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Again, the Seahawks leading 20-12, but the Texans with the football, 3rd and 1, going to get to the back in the back. Ooh, he got stopped. He got stopped. Wow. What an excellent job there by that defense. When the Seahawks put their minds to it, they are a very underrated defense. So when they determine that they want to stop you, they are going to stop you. And that's exactly what they did. Wow. But have a good night to you as well, Haynes, and thanks for coming through. Oh, on 4th down, the Texans got stopped. Wow. How about that? I was just talking about the Seahawks defense, and then they one up it, and this time made the guy lose yards. Wow. Let's see. James says Lamar traded to the other birds and win a Super Bowl with the Cardinals. 2 birds with 1 stone. Hey, if that's what it takes, because I tell you, Kyler Murray is not going to be that guy that brings it to him. He's not going to do it. But if that's what it takes for Lamar, hey, I'm all for it. That would be tremendous if that happened. As Zork says, how about when Love bent the Washington defender in half? And so, yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Let's see, Samuel says, JB, crazy raid. Let's see, RC says, JB, was this a mistake on your part? Or are you glad you came on and streamed this? So, hey, JB made it up in his mind that I was going to do this game here. I know Kenneth asked me to do this game particularly because normally I would have done the Lions versus the Buccaneers and stuff. But I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead, go to the gym for a second time today, in which I know I'm going to feel it in the morning. I am going to feel it tomorrow. And I somehow have a lot of energy. Going to the gym twice, streaming here. I don't know what it is. People are going to be like, JB, what are you on right now? But JB has no idea. But JB's glad that this is the game that I chose. It says start bench cut Max Jones, Sam Darnold, Caleb Williams. Well, in this case, for right now, where they currently are, I would start Sam Darnold. I would bench Caleb Williams, and I would have to cut Mac Jones. Sorry, Mac Jones, but you're getting cut again. That's what I would do for right now. Samuel says like 110 now. Bet, bet, bet. And again, shout out to everybody just coming through and being a part of the stream. Let's see, Haynes says, appreciate the compassion for your Lions. I know what you mean. When you love football, there are so many storylines that to root for. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like aside from my own Patriots and the pain that I experienced watching us lose to the Giants multiple times, too many times for me to want to mention, I felt really bad when I saw the Cardinals lose to the Steelers. I was rooting for the Cardinals as if they were my team. I was, my dad was, because we know how hard the Cardinals have had it. We know how hard the Lions have had it as well throughout their history. I mean, like, shoot, you got to think about, the one time that the Lions were able to make it to the NFC Championship game and how tough that loss was. And it's like, if you come into a Lions fan, that person is not about like, oh, just because we have a good record and stuff. No, that means that fan has been loyal and been through some stuff. Like, I'm talking about surviving the Joey Harrington days, surviving the Dan Orlovsky days, safety in the end zone, the 016 stars, all that stuff. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. And if JB thought it was hard the last couple of years with my team, I can just imagine what Lion fans have been through. So absolutely, I'm rooting for you guys to get there and win it. It's not enough just to get there. Got to get there and win it because I know Detroit will go crazy if that happens. I mean, dude, I'm rooting for the Detroit Pistons to get back to being what the Pistons used to be. I was happy to see them get to where it's like, okay, they're good again. I want to see them be like, like a top three team in the NBA again at some point. And do it by playing defense would make me so happy. Bring defense back to the NBA. She said, JB, I ordered at the very last second to get 35% on my merch. And also, you got free shipping as well. What's up? He said, my boy JT is now on YouTube Rich. JB, you mean? Like JT, I was like, Jonathan Taylor? Let's see, Seahawks right now, first and goal. Tight end goes in motion. They got Charbonnet in the backfield. Gonna be looking to pass it. Throws it Charbonnet out the backfield, and he is so he can get back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. But James, once again, coming through with the super sets. I appreciate your insight and love your energy. Got to go to bed, work in the morning. What's the next game that I'm going to be streaming? So right now, the next stream that I'm going to be doing is actually my talk show where I collab with In the Zoe and also Old Man Mob. But my next game that I'm actually going to be doing is going to be Saturday. It's going to be a college football game. Let me look real quick and see which college football game because the next one is going to be Saturday for college football for me. But let me determine which one I'm going to do. Let's see. Think me and my wife have an early appointment Saturday, so I'm going to have to make it a later game. So I'm probably going to end up doing. All right, so I'm going to do the Texas A&M versus LSU game Saturday. Texas A&M versus LSU. That's going to be my next actual play-by-play stream. And that's at 7:30 Eastern time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. But yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate that. That'll be my next play-by-play stream for college football. All right, let's see. But I typically for the NFL, I typically do like Monday night football for sure. Sunday night, sometimes I do Sunday night, sometimes I can't. It just depends on if me and the wife have anything planned in terms of Sunday night football. But you can always check Sunday night and Monday night football if you're looking for specifically NFL. Saturday, the time typically varies, but that's typically how it is. Let's see. RC says I actually meant you got 40% off for free shipping. Okay, bet, bet, bet. Let's just say JB, yeah, Jonathan Taylor. I know him. When I see him again, I'm gonna ask him to let him. He's gonna give you 5K. You see, Simon says live stream on Wednesday night for Saturday LSU game. That's right, LSU versus Texas A&M. Can the Aggies remain undefeated? James says, dope. I'll see you there and have a good night, man. Appreciate you. Hey, I appreciate you. Have a good night. And yes, JB2 has work in the morning as well. JB's actually got to get up 5 a.m. to take the wife to work. So best believe once this game concludes, JB's going to be going to sleep for what hours I can get. But good night to you. Samuel says, good night, James. And again, the Seahawks are now up 27-12. That was a big time touchdown there. Texans on the return. Got that 20. That's a brought down at the 20-yard line. So now we've got a 1st and 10 here for the Houston Texans. He said, JB, I don't ask nobody for money unless they rolling in the dough. She says 5 a.m. Wow, JB. Yeah, I get up 5 a.m. Monday through Thursday so I can take my wife, so I can get ready, all that great stuff, and then take my wife to work. So I get up at 5 a.m., ready by like 6 a.m. in the car, have her there in the parking lot by like 6:30. Then she goes in close to the 7 a.m. So yes, I get up for that. And JB usually stays up till about, 1 a.m., sometimes 2 a.m. So sometimes your boy's just getting maybe about a good 3 hours of sleep. CJ Stroud tripping and all that, almost threw a pick. CJ, what are you doing? CJ, my goodness. CJ, what is he doing? I mean, you look at that. He slipped on his drop back to begin with. So the play's already almost messed up. And you risk throwing a pick for a yard? Like for a buck? Talk to him before I talk to him, RC. Talk to him. Let's see. RC said, JB, I am gonna do this job soon, and the shift is only 4:30 to 8:30, but I can pick my schedule. That's good. Why 4:30 to 8:30? Time travels quicker in the AM. That it does. That it does. It's also gonna alternate, I guess, your sleeping schedule as well. But yeah, if you get to pick your schedule, then that's what's up. That is what's up. Samuel says, JB, I tried. Or are you trying to say you're tired? Third downs have not been friendly to either teams so far in this one. But we're here in the third quarter with 38 seconds to go. Seahawks up 27-12. Right now, the Texans facing 3rd and 10 right now. They got a lot going on. They got to figure this out. Stroud sees the pressure. Stroud brought down for the sack. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Seattle's getting after it. When I say they're getting after it, they are getting after it. The unsingable name says CJ not looking good tonight. Not at all. Not at all. But you know what? It's the offensive line too. Like I can't just say it's only CJ Stroud because you look at this. This has been the theme all game long. Every play you look at, there's somebody in CJ's face, and CJ's not the one to deal with someone in his face. He's just not the one. So Seahawks on the return. All right, that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. So here at the end of the third quarter, it is Seattle 27, Houston Texans 12 right now, and the Seahawks, they've got the football again because that Seahawks defense, they've been aggressive in this one. See, Haynes says the Pistons were trying to put more defense in the league, and the league didn't like that. Cade is a dude. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He is a dude, and I love what he means for Detroit. And you say love all your Detroit City teams, and so like that. I like that. My guy is loyal to the entire city. Gotta love it. Let's see. RC says CJ. Oh, not C. Ow, not CJ Stroud. Don't do it, RC. Don't do it. RC said Kay Cunningham is like that. Yeah, he's like that. He is like that, and he's exactly what Detroit needed. Exactly what they needed. Let's see. You say you tried, Samuel. Let's see. RC says, JB, I'm gonna eat a big slice of German chocolate cake and then go right to bed. And so, oh man, RC doesn't make it easy. JB worked out twice a day, and then you're gonna tell JB about some cake. Come on, RC. Oh man, so we've got 3 quarters in the book, 1 quarter left. I mean, I'm not gonna say that it's over. We all saw what the Broncos did to the Giants. putting up 33 points in the fourth quarter. And with as a defensive coordinator for a team that shut the team out 3 quarters, how do you let that happen? I have no idea. How does one let that happen? No idea. But that's a whole different story right there. But yeah, just a reminder that JB's next live stream will be Wednesday. We'll have me, we'll have Zoe. I think Old Man's going to be working again that day, but I'll double check with him to make sure. But yeah, we'll be able to go through our picks from the previous week, make our picks for this upcoming week for both college and the NFL, and discuss all kinds of, things going on for both college football and the NFL. But she says, JB, that's the last thing you need is cake and coke. Oh, you're right. You're right. Samuel says, "You ready for bedtime at midnight? So you're gonna be going to sleep at midnight?" Okay, Samuel. Okay. We got 15 minutes here before JB will be able to go to sleep. But 15 minutes left in this one, unless somehow, some way, Houston goes crazy in the fourth quarter and this ends up going to overtime, which is looking highly unlikely, but you just never know. Okay, so right now we've got the Seahawks up under center here. Sam Darnold, three receivers, one tight. Oh, come on, big fella now. Come on, big fella. You too big to be trying to sneak forward like that. Of course, the referee gonna see you, Bradford. Ball starting the Seahawks, backs him up 5 yards there. And it's because it's the Giants. And so, hey, you right. You right. But still, 33 points in a quarter is insane. But I don't know what the Giants were doing. I don't know what the Giants were doing. But that moment where I saw Jackson Dart through that interception, I knew they messed up in that moment. But even so, like they just, I don't know how you let that happen, honestly. Kenneth Walker the third again on the carry picks up a yard, and Kenneth Walker the third has had a tough game so far today. The Seahawks have been playing well, but he's been having a tough game so far in this one. Let's see. Unusable name says, "All right, I don't see Stroud going all Bo Nix on the Hawks tonight. Bedtime for you. Thanks, brother." And so, hey, I appreciate you coming through. I really do. And so, hopefully, we'll see you again sometime soon. It's been great, but I certainly understand that bedtime waits for no one. And your boy's got to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning. So, best believe when this game concludes, that's what I'm going to be doing as well. And so, oh, Sam Darnold, incomplete, incomplete. Now, all Sam Darnold has to do is protect the football at this point. You protect the football, put Charbonnet back in the backfield. He's been the one that's been having success running the ball so far in this one, and then just, go from there. Looking at Darnold, throws it, ball deflected by the D lineman. And again, it's your job as a D lineman. If you can't get to the quarterback, get a hand up there, get a finger on the football or something. Let's see. Samuel said just sleep 6 hours and then wake up 10:30 a.m. 6 hours is a lot more sleep than what JB gets. All right, third and 14. Kenneth Walker the third gets the reception. And he's gonna fight and be a yard shy of that first down marker, but a big time play there for Kenneth Walker the third. But fourth down coming up for the Seattle Seahawks here in the fourth quarter. About 14 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Now you look at that replay, and he is exactly 1 yard shy of that first down marker. Let's see, Haynes says, "For real, dude." Oh, yeah, but who all is excited for the NBA starting tomorrow? Right? I can't believe it's back already, guys. This is the best time of the year, in all honesty. And JB's got a birthday coming early next month as well. So JB, this is a good time. A good time. So what's Seattle lining up to do here? Putting guys in motion. Yeah, I was about to say, there's no way they're going to snap this ball. You're up 27-12 against a team that the only reason they got 12 is because their defense scored for them. So there's no need to do anything other than take that penalty and then hunt the ball. Give me a surprise NBA team. For those of you guys that watch the NBA, give me a surprise NBA team this season that you're expecting that people are sleeping on this year in the NBA that you're like, you know what? This team's gonna have a great season, a lot more than what people are expecting. All right, so after that penalty, 4th and 6, and the Seahawks Punt the ball. All right, he's going to return it from the 11, goes at about the 21-yard line, and that's where the Houston Texans will take over with the football. See, it says maybe no OT. There will be no JB OT tonight, Samuel. I can give you my JB guarantee. We're not going to hit overtime tonight. That would mess JB's schedule all the way up if it went to overtime tonight. Let's see. Haynes says, JB, this is the longest I've stayed after a raid. You're cool, bro, and work hard to acknowledge everybody. Safe travels tomorrow morning. Hey, I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. That really does. That means a lot. And I'm able to do this because of the people that continuously show up and support me, day in and day out. And so I really appreciate everybody that does show up. So that's what makes it easy. Cause I remember when I first started streaming, and you'd be lucky if one or two people popped in the chat. And so just knowing that every time I go live, I know I can count on the crew to be there. And then, hey, days like this where more people show up, that just adds even more energy to it. But I appreciate that. And safe travels to you as well. Let's see. SM says, resign, trade, and let walk. Jacoby Brissett, Mike Evans, George Pickens. Well, I tell you what, we're definitely going to be re-signing George Pickens after what we're seeing with the Dallas Cowboys this year. For sure. He's going to be re-signed. I'll tell you that. We're going to be trading Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers already showed he did not want to be a Raider this year. But they literally had nobody else to throw the ball to. So they're like, no, we're not going to trade you. But in the offseason, trade Jacoby Myers for sure. And then with Mike Evans, hey, it's tough with all the injuries and stuff like that. You've got, a nice young receiver from Ohio State also, but then Chris Godwin has injuries there. I'd ask Mike Evans to take a pay cut if possible. If he'll take a pay cut, then sure. But if not, then we need to have a long thought about whether or not we want to continue to keep Mike Evans there. So perhaps let him walk in that scenario if need be. But I would first try to see if he'll take a pay cut. Kind of like what the Chargers did to Keenan Allen a couple years ago, and Keenan Allen was like, "Oh heck no," and it's like, "All right, you're out." So he came back to much cheaper, so they were right. Oh man, so this is it though. If you're the Houston Texans, you have got to find a way to come away with some points here. If you can just get it going, I mean, throw something up deep to Nico Collins. I feel like this is the point in the game where Nico Collins usually gets a big play. So just throw something up deep to him. I feel like they're desperate right now for a big play. First and 10 here for the Houston Texans. Stroud looking, throws it, and complete. Incomplete. He is on my man like paint is on a car. I mean, he's literally all over Nico Collins. And now Nico Collins is hurt. This is terrible news here for the Houston Texans. What was already a bad night might just be worse. Now let's see what happened. Look at that coverage. Look at that coverage. Excellent coverage there. Oh, and he definitely hit like the back of his head. You see, he immediately grabs the side of his head there. So probably banged his head. Yeah, definitely banged his head hard on that play. So things just go from bad to worse right now if you're the Houston Texans. I'm telling you, that 12th man is real out there. Oh man, now CJ Stroud, my man already looked panicked. You look into his eyes, he looked panicked right now. But he's got to find a way to pull his troops out there. Again, fourth quarter with 13:09 to go here in the fourth quarter of play. And you've got Seattle winning 27-12 right now, but the Texans with the football throws one up there, overthrew his receiver. I guess he thought he was still throwing to Nico Collins there, but yeah, you got to rule that in a little bit better than that. But right now, you can tell CJ Stroud does not trust his offensive line. He's having to throw it early. He's having to run for his life, turn around, spin. He's doing whatever right now to just try to get rid of this football. And now third and 10, third downs have been horrendous so far in this game for the Houston Texans, but they've got to find a way to make it work if they want a chance to win this one. Let's see. Samuel says JB live stream time off. And so, I don't know when I'm going to schedule that time off. It'll probably be like whenever it's time for me to move and stuff. So I imagine it's probably going to be somewhere, or maybe even after the Super Bowl, probably somewhere in that time frame. for about a week or two. But hey, I do want to catch college hoops as well. I enjoy college hoops. Last year I didn't get to do it because I went to the Philippines, but this year certainly want to be able to get some college hoops games in, especially around that March Madness time frame. And then the referees right now are discussing. I'm like, come on now, referees. There's three of you guys. Let's figure this one out. You said what time I'm going to be finishing the live stream tonight? Well, tonight I'm gonna be here until the end of the game. Once the game concludes, that is when JB will be done. But here we go, second and 10. Three receivers, one tight end, one back from their own 21-yard line here for the Houston Texans. And CJ Stroud looking. CJ Stroud throwing one deep. He's taking a deep shot. Got that out. Ooh, he just couldn't do it. He's just not Nico Collins. That's just all it comes down to. Hutchinson tried his best, but he's just not him. But this Seahawks defense, they can ball out. They can ball out. And that's exactly what they're doing. I mean, he tried there. He really did try. Tried to come back, adjusted the ball there, just could not do it. So here we go. Third and 10. Houston Texans right now. From their own 21-yard line. Seahawks, will they bring pressure? Yes, they will. Stroud looking. Stroud goes deep again. Oh my goodness. He reminds me of my dad playing Madden. He's just going deep on every play at this point. And now fourth down coming up. Fourth down coming up. Samuel said, did I fall asleep yet? Not yet, Samuel. I have not fallen asleep. That's a shocker. That is a shocker because I know there be times where sometimes JB got to fight it, but hey, that was a shocker. So here we go. Punt on the way. That's it from his own 21-yard line for the Seattle Seahawks here. Cutting it up there at the 35. Maybe made it to the 36-yard line. They're out there pushing for each and every yard right now. Someone's got to separate them. All right, then fourth quarter here with 12 minutes and 38 seconds to go. This is where, if you're the Seattle Seahawks here, you gotta ride the hard hand here. Carbonett has been really good running the ball so far in this one tonight. Meanwhile, Kenneth Walker III, it has been a struggle. Every time he's gotten the ball, for the most part, they have been on him like flies on chocolate, basically at this point, just all over him. And you look at this division, extremely tough division. It's a three-team race right now. So first and 10 here, Sam Darnold up under center here from their own 36-yard line. Sam dropping back to pass. Sam looking. Sam throws it. Incomplete. Tried to find a tight end there on the play. Second and 10 coming up here for the Seattle Seahawks. And again, they have to continue to move the ball through the air because it's been so tough to move it on the ground. All right, so SM says, JB, choose one guy to collect millions on the bench. Tua, Geno, or Kyler. It won't be Tua. I promise you that. It won't be Tua. I like Geno, but I don't think Geno likes Geno right now. So I'm gonna say Kyler for now by default. At least I know Kyler will use his legs. At least I know Kyler from time to time will have an okay game. So I'll let him collect some millions on the bench, but it won't be Tua. And after seeing what I've seen so far from Geno this year, it's not going to be him either. So it's going to be Kyler Murray. Funny because if you'd asked me before the season, I'd have definitely said Geno Smith. And so what time the wife got to wake? Yeah, so we got to wake up at like 5 a.m., Samuel, 5 a.m. in the morning. So terminating in the backfield. They're taking JB's advice, ride the hot hand, but it's a play fake now. And Darnold going deep. Will he get it? No, he will not get it. Incomplete going to Horton. He tried to take a shot for the end zone, but wait a minute, there is a flag, and the receiver looks like he's hurt. Now, that was a holding against the Houston Texans there here in the fourth quarter, 11 minutes and 43 seconds to go. Meanwhile, JB's fantasy football teams all going to be getting W's this week, so that makes JB very happy to see that all of my teams are getting W's. So first and 20 for the Seattle Seahawks. You've got two receivers top of the screen here. Jackson Smith and Jake goes in motion. Darnold looking, pitches it forward. And Charbonnet ran into his own lineman. I feel like his own lineman is the one that knocked him down. He ran into the gut of his lineman. That couldn't be fun. Let's see. Sammy says wife works at the hospital. And let's see. SM says Houston, we have a problem, a major problem, major problem. As they say, Mayday, Mayday. Right now, their season is crashing because they were 2-3. A win would have put them 3-3. That would have been okay. But now you're 2-3. So you're in some trouble because the coach don't look like they're going to slow down anytime soon. So you're in some real trouble. But you got second and 14 coming up right now for the Seattle Seahawks here. Receiver goes in motion, snaps the ball at the last possible second. Sam Darnold looking. Sam Darnold throws it over the middle. That's going to be completed. But he lost the ball. He lost the ball. Oh my goodness, he lost the ball. The Houston Texans defense is trying their best to keep this team in the game, and Houston will get the football. That's a turnover. That's a turnover. Wow. Wow. That Houston defense continuing to be aggressive, and that's exactly what you need. You need your defense to be aggressive, but it all won't mean nothing if the Houston offense can't do anything with the football. So they got to figure this one out right now. I don't know what they can do in all honesty right now at this point, but they got to figure it out. This is why they get paid all that money for. They got to figure it out. SM says that Houston needs to score now or that's game. And he's not lying. They need to score right now. Like right now. Here in the fourth quarter with about 10 minutes and 47 seconds to go in the Seahawks leading 27-12, but they just fumbled away the football right now. So CJ Stroud and company. Can CJ turn back the clock to his rookie year at this point? I hate to say turn back the clock about a young kid, but he's got to turn back the clock in all honesty. CJ out the shotgun. CJ looking. CJ dumps it short. Throws it to the back and the back. Takes away from the first guy. Gonna be a yard short. Got to run a hurry up offense. Got to run a hurry up offense. Get some tempo, some momentum. Go some life, some energy or something. I don't like the whole CJ looking around blank, just like let's hurry it up here. Samuel says, please no overtime. All right, second and one here for the Houston Texans. Again, 10-15 here in the fourth. Shotgun formation. Three receivers, one tight end, one back. Snaps the ball. Seahawks blitzing. Throws it. Gets the completion near the sideline here to his tight end and a first down. That's how you move the chains. With 10:09 left to go in this one. Now, I feel like Samuel deep down really does want overtime. I know he really wants overtime deep down inside. So here we go. Bringing up shotgun here. This could be a free play. I saw early movement. CJ running for his life again. Tell me if you heard that one before. I thought I saw early movement, but the referee, oh, there it is. There's a flag. Again, here in the fourth quarter with under 10 minutes to go in the game, Houston desperately needs to score a touchdown now. There may not be a next time if they don't score now. Oh, they're going to call a personal foul against the Texans here? What did he do? What did he do? Oh, my word. CJ Stroud getting hit. He thought that flag was for him. Oh, my word. Yeah, I figured this one out. Yeah, Ingram came in like a wrecking ball on that one. So now you're looking at a 1st and 25 for an offense that right now, the way they're struggling, I doubt they can convert on a 1st and 5. Stroud throws it. Stroud almost threw a pick, y'all. He threw it right to the DB. Right to the DB. 2nd and 25. What feels like an eternity right now. At this point, man, just call a screenplay to the running back or something like that at this point. CJ Stroud's tired. Like his energy. I don't like his body language right now. I don't like his decision making right now. He's got a lot going on. From his own 45-yard line, 2nd and 25, gets the snap here. He's looking. He's going to take off and run, and he is going to run to about the 45-yard line before he gets touched. 3rd down coming up. CJ said, I'm just going to get some yards here because 3rd and 25 would have been too much. So he picked up 10 yards there to make it 3rd and 15. They are 1 of 10 on 3rd downs, and you're trying to pick up 15 yards on this play. SM says that the Browns would have beaten the Texans tonight. You are not lying, SM. They sure would have. Stroud just throws it up. Oh my goodness. At this point, we might even be able to throw the Dolphins in that conversation at this point. What's CJ Stroud doing? Fourth down coming up. 9:03 left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. D'Amico Ryans has almost seen enough. He's like, should I put in Davis Mills? Should I do it? He's like, nah, things aren't that bad. All right, so 4th and 15. SM says, run a fake punt. That might be their best option in all honesty. 4th and 15, CJ Stroud looking. CJ Stroud, please do stop. What are you doing? He throws it up there, just asking for a miracle because you're asking your running back to make that catch. CJ Stroud is playing scared out there, guys. This is bad. This is bad. Like, this is really bad. But hey, if you're for the Seahawks, this is great. This is exactly what you wanted. And man, just thinking about the NFC West and all those teams, man. All right, so now we are currently at the commercial here. Oh man, but we had ourselves a game. That is for sure. All right, so we're at the commercial. But now for Seattle, if only they could run the ball effectively, then they can take some time off this clock. And I feel like they're gonna have to let Charbonnet like carry most of this load here. I mean, Kenneth Walker III has run a little bit better, I will say that, but they got to find a way to run some of this clock off. But I won't be mad if they throw a touchdown to Jackson Smith and Jigma again, just for old time's sake. I won't be mad at that at all. The RC says JB's up and Adam. That's right. That's right. JB's up now, and then JB's going to be waking up in about 5 hours. So yes, JB is. Only thing that's not up right now is the Houston Texans offense. It is completely down. Man, CJ Stroud, CJ Stroud. And so Samuel says, "You think the wife's birthday and stuff like that?" And so, nah, no time soon. No time soon. All right, so Kenneth Walker the third in the backfield here. Houston should be ultra aggressive right now. Kenneth Walker the third, get it? Kenneth Walker the third running. All right, takes us to about the. Oh, but wait a minute. There is a flag. There is a flag. And Kenneth Walker the third, not happy about that. What she says, I think the Pecans offense went to sleep on JB, Texans offense. Let's see, RC said, JB, you're going to need a lot of coffee tomorrow then. And so, yeah, 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 you're not lying. You're not lying, RC. Afterwards, I'm going to end up still going to the gym at about 7, let's say 7:15 in the morning till about 8:30. Go work out once again. The first and 18 here in the fourth quarter, about 8 minutes and 35 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter of play. Seahawks get the snap. Darnold in the pocket, throws it up the middle. He, does he not understand all that he has to do is protect the football? Oh man, Jackson Smith and Jigma oh my goodness, they stiff arm him. Get away from my guy. Like, why would y'all do that? You see the man had his helmet ripped off. Why would y'all do that? If Houston had this much fight, then why don't they just show it on the field? She said, JB, what's better, working out or going to sleep? Well, going to sleep is always the best, RC. That's undisputed right there. Going to sleep is the best. That's how you recover. But working out gives you that extra fuel that you need to make it through the day. She said, I think Rhino is still up doing this game too. Listen, Rhino never sleep. Never sleep. That's why it's the rising Rhino, because the Rhino is always rising up, never falling asleep. That's straight dedication. But yeah, I don't know what Houston's problem is, but all right, so here we go. Houston, first and 10 after the interception. They're going to go ahead and opt to run the ball. Well, at least running the ball moves it forward. And that's a sign of like they're clearly not happy with their pass game. Clearly not. They understand they got some big problems, but they also understand time. They've only got 8:05 left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. This offense has to score on this drive. All right, so 7 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. Texans get the snap. Stroud throws it over the middle, gets the completion here to Hutchinson. That's going to be a first down at about the 30-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks here with 7:18 left to go. And again, if we want to entertain the idea of a potential comeback, we want to entertain the idea of maybe a potential overtime or something like that. Houston must score on this drive. Throws it, gets the completion there to his tight end. Sometimes all you have that you can trust is your tight end, especially when you're struggling. He's a big target, usually has a good mismatch. So you find your tight end. But there you go, your tight end knocked down, getting up slow, and there you go. See, this is exactly what CJ needs, completions like this. But at some point, you got to target that end zone. You got to target that end zone. With 2nd and 5 coming up, tight end Lil Woozy right now, three receivers, one tight end, one back. CJ Stroud throws it incomplete, incomplete. I mean, my man was riding his back on that play. Let's see. RC said, "Trust me, JB, you do not want overtime." Yeah, JB does not necessarily want overtime here, but JB's just surprised I have the energy that I have tonight. RC said, "JB, it's 12:04, a new day over here, Brett, and going. Don't never let them say that JB don't stream often." All right, 3rd and 5 here for the Houston Texans. Important third down. Seattle looking like they're going to bring pressure. Seattle does bring pressure. Stroud looking. Stroud throws one in there. Complete. The receiver had to play defensive back to prevent the DB from picking that one off. Now you've got decision time. 4th and 5. There is no decision to make. You got to get the first down. You got to tell TJ Stroud, look, if you see a lane and you think you can pick up this first down using your legs, then you do that. Otherwise, you make the right read. How about to say, how many times am I going to see a helmet just flying around? And she says, JB, I don't know when my next stream will be. I thought you were going to stream the NBA opener, RC. I thought you were going to do the Cavaliers versus the Knicks or something like that. That's what I was expecting. 4th and 5. CJ throws it and gets the catch. I didn't know who he was throwing to. I didn't know who he was throwing to on that one, but he got the completion. Big time play, big time catch. Just what Houston needed, but they still got to score a touchdown now. So how would they go about that? Excellent play there by the Houston Texans to get that one and convert it on 4th down. Current drive, 7 plays, 49 yard, 2 minutes and 32 seconds in terms of time possession off the clock with 5 minutes and 48 seconds left to go here in the fourth. Got to snap the ball. They do. It's a run play. And the running back, oh, did he get enough for the touchdown? Did he get it? Is he in? Is he short? But the referee thinks he's short. Let's take a look at the replay here. And looking at the second effort, yeah, he's definitely short. He's definitely short. Good call by the officials. The this is a nah fat chance on that, but if I'm lucky, I'll be watching it. It's okay, bet, bet, bet. I feel you there. 3rd and goal coming up. Why don't we just do the push push? What are we playing around for? The push push is one of the most best plays to run right now. Just go ahead and run it. What are we doing? What are the Texans doing? If they mess around and don't score from 3rd and goal this point. Jeff says, JB, do you think Tom Brady could still be playing if he wanted to? I'm gonna say honestly, he could if he wanted to. He could. Now, would it be at the same level? Probably not, but he could. He could be like good. Because you look at like if he was still with Tampa Bay, they still have all the weapons, and then they added another rookie receiver and stuff. And as long as they invested in the offensive line, yeah, he could. He could. It's not like it's the NFL from like the early 2000s where everybody's out there getting hit constantly by your Ray Lewis's of the world. But nah, he could if he wanted to. Let's see. I said, JB, I hope they bring back the 90s NBA round ball rock theme song. Well, you know what? You need to go on the NBA web page and just continuously tell them that this is what you want until they change it. Daniel says, good morning, JB, from midnight time, 12:10 a.m. today, October Tuesday, 21st, 2025 now. Man, how about that? A 2-day stream, some might call it. But now Houston facing a 4th and goal situation right now. Why don't you just let CJ Stroud just quarterback keep it? That seems to be the most logical thing here. You're literally a little less than a yard, about half a yard from the end zone. And you telling me that he can't quarterback keep it? Keep it? All right, let's see 4th and goal. I've seen the Seahawks make some big plays earlier today. Can they do it again? Get it to the running back, and oh, he got stopped. Oh my goodness. Now wait a minute. There's a flag. Come on, man. What? Oh, that's on the offense. Wow, Houston. Yeah, Houston, we got a big problem. We've got a massive so with 5:08 left to go. Wow, what a play by the Seattle Seahawks defense. But now, all right, so I was about to say it's still Houston football here. All right, Seattle's gonna call a little timeout here. All right, so again, 4th down. Might as well call a play for your tight end, in all honesty. He's tall. He's been catching most everything that comes in his direction. You might as well call a play for him. That's what I'm thinking. All right, let's see. This says start bench cut Ricky Waters, Curtis Ennis, or Sean Alexander. Good old Sean Alexander. Cover of Madden 2007, I think. Oh, look at that. Incomplete, Pep. Jay Stroud, what are you doing? You're going to get somebody fired at this rate. Dang. He is going to get somebody fired at this rate. I mean, you look at that. Yeah. That was good coverage, though. That was good coverage, in all honesty. Good coverage. Yeah, that was just good coverage. Bad decision. If he waited a second more and looked towards the left side of the end zone, I believe he would have had somebody that was cutting inside that was open. Damn, it says, hey, you, JB, LSU game night. And so, yeah, I'm going to be doing the LSU versus Texas A&M game Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And Charbonnet fighting for whatever yards he can. It's like the little engine that could. 4 minutes and 57 seconds left to go. Houston's going to burn their first time out. Yeah, Houston offense just completely let them down. The defense does their job, but the offense just lets them down completely. All right, so we got a 2nd and 7 coming up here for the Seattle Seahawks. And again, Houston concerned about stopping the clock, so they'll continue to burn their timeouts. So if you're Seattle, it's very simple. Just keep running the ball. 2nd and 7 right now. But they're going to look to pass the ball here. And he's going to throw one out there to Jackson Smith and Jigma. I like the idea of feeding my guy, just don't like the way it was executed there. But now 3rd down, and instead of Houston burning their timeouts there, you just basically spared them from having to call a timeout. You say you think LSU is going to be at home in that matchup? Let me see. Yes, it will be actually in Louisiana. So correct. Like I said, JB is the man and the vampire. 10, 21, 26. So I'm about to say 26, 25. Okay. All right, 3rd and 7 here for the Seattle Seahawks. But if you got to throw the ball, you might as well throw it to Jackson Smith and Jigma. He's going to get open. You know that. Come on. What are you doing, Sam? These quarterbacks, I don't know, man. I don't know. Quarterbacking ain't for everybody. Decent job there for the Houston Texans defensively. At the very least, at least if you're Houston defensively, you can say, look, we did our part. Pay us. We doing our part. Right. Fourth quarter, 4 minutes and 44 seconds to go. And again, Seattle up 27-12. Getting ready to punt the ball to the Houston Texans. Punt on the way. Right, and now the return here for Houston. And the returner slipped by himself. Who needs a defense when the returner continuously trips like that? All right, so SM says, resign, trade, let walk. Mark Andrews, Dallas Goddard, and David Njoku. Who are going to let Mark Andrews at this point? Am I gonna let him walk? Is he gonna be my let walk? I'm gonna resign Dallas Goddard. He's getting re-signed. I'm gonna trade David Njoku. We can get some real value for him. And I'm gonna let walk Mark Andrews right now because I'm just not feeling it anymore with him with the Ravens. So I'm gonna let Mark Andrews walk. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, first and 10 here for CJ Stroud. And Stroud, oh, he set the young kid up for a hit, but he got the completion. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter of play. Texans hurrying up here because they've got to score twice. The 28-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks. And the pressure, CJ on the move. CJ just throws it, gets it to his tight end. Like a good neighbor, your tight end is there with the first down. Let's see. Samuel says, where's Laney fall asleep? You might actually be correct this time there, Samuel. And I can't blame her. All right, first and 10. Stroud throws it. Incomplete. Again, here in the fourth quarter, with about 3 minutes and 42 seconds left to go here in the fourth. RC says, say, JB, is it $450 rent in Texas? Not quite that cheap there, RC. Not quite that cheap. Anywhere from 900 to about 1200, depending on how many rooms you need there. You might can get something for that price range, in all honesty, between 9 and 1200. Some nice apartments. With other places, you're paying upwards of 1700. Looking. What they're going to stop the play here. All right, false start there against the Houston Texans. That's going to back him up. That's going to back him up. And D'Amico Ryan is like, what is this? He's like, what is this? This is such a critical game here for Houston. And she said, JB, well, that ain't no deal. You're right about that. You're right about that. I wish I could pay just 450 a month for rent. That would be a deal. 15, backpedaling, throws it to the only guy near him, and he's going to fight to get back to the line of scrimmage there, but Barrios cannot do it. He's going to lose a yard there on the catch. 3:30 left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. And right now, another third down, third and 16. RC said, you want 3 bedrooms for 650 and the first 3 months rent free. RC, those kind of demands will get you out in the street around here. Third and 16. Stroud on the move. Stroud scrambling. Stroud desperate to make something happen. There is a flag, but he's going to be probably about a yard shy of that first down marker, but there is a penalty. There is a penalty. Illegal contact there by the Seahawks. All right, so we got a first and goal coming up here. Again, here in the fourth quarter with 3:01 left to go here in the fourth. Seahawks up 27-12 right now, but the Houston Texans find themselves once again in the goal line situation. Last time they came up empty-handed. This time, can they make something materialize? You got Stroud up under center here, got receiver going in motion here, one back in the backfield, 1 second on the play clock, gonna fake it to the back, looking, Stroud, stepping up, Stroud throws it to the back, and that's gonna be incomplete. Incomplete. Tried his best. Woody Marks to make that catch, but is incomplete. And again, running back tried his best to make that catch there, but could not reel it in. And Thomas once again breaking things up. Here's second and goal. Here in the fourth quarter with about 2 minutes and 55 seconds to go. And again, the Texans, they need 3 yards to get into the end zone. Tight end goes in motion. It's going to be a running play. And oh, Seattle said not so. Seattle said not so. And guess who? Thomas again getting in that backfield making plays. And he brought a couple friends with him. Let's see. RC said, what are my Super Bowl picks right now? Oh man, the NFC is like so up for grabs. But you know what? I'm gonna say right now in the NFC, I got the Rams going, and in the AFC, as of right now, I will say right now Colts and Rams. Right now, Colts and Rams. That's what I would say right now. But hey, we got a touchdown. We have a touchdown from the Houston Texans here with 2:04 left to go. Woody Marks made the reception. Now we're going to look at the replay and make sure he made a clean catch there, but he made the catch, cradled the football, protected all the way through. Looks like a catch to me. He said, David hit my boy CD player Lamb have a good game yesterday. He did. That he did. That he did. He was like the chosen lamb that time. But she said, how many timeouts do the Texans have left? The Texans have one timeout, and so do the Seahawks have one timeout. Both teams have one timeout remaining. So they have one timeout, plus you got the 2 minute warning that's going to stop the clock as well, depending how long the kickoff takes. So Houston finally scored another touchdown. Their first offensive touchdown, because the other touchdown came from the defense. All right, so we got 2:04 left. SM says NFC side of the bracket gonna be a must-see TV in the playoffs. You ain't lying, SM. You ain't lying. It's gonna come down to being healthy and then also being at home. So it's so important to be able to be at home and be healthy. That's gonna make a big difference this year on the NFC side. And the AFC is gonna come down to Kansas City or Indianapolis. We'll go from there with those two teams. She said, JB, did you see my YouTube short I put in the short? When was the last time both of my teams, the Cowboys and Colts, won on the same day? Do you know the date? I gotta check it out there. I gotta check it out. Was the last time they both won on the same day? Has it been that long? I would have thought what, maybe what's the last time they won. Well, dude, I mean, you know what? I'm assuming that you mean prior to this past Sunday. But if prior to this past Sunday, I didn't think about that. But when is that date? All right. So we currently, right now, at that point, all we have to do is just see the Seahawks get a couple first downs, and then that's it. It's a wrap. Well, just really one first, pending the timeout situation. Let's see. Samuel says UJB is on Facebook, and then C says December 21st, 2024. And again, JB's next live stream is going to be Wednesday, where me, Zoe, possibly Old Man, will all connect and review how we did this past week from our college picks, NFL picks, and then make our picks for next week and also answer questions that you guys have. The RC said you need to invest in an NFL jersey, probably Daniel Jones, or CD, or Dak. Again, RC, the man with the large wallet, he can purchase them all, honestly. He can purchase them all. All the Seahawks need to do is go ahead and pick up a first down and let's ice this one because JB Eyes is starting to go to sleep. Essen said we need Ode on there. Hopefully he can make it. I'm hoping he can too. I'm really hoping that he can as well. That would be great. I miss having him up there because I feel like I go through the comments a lot faster when he's in there being able to respond to the chat and stuff. It helps me out. But otherwise, I've got to do that, which slows me down also during the live. Person 10 here for the Seahawks. They're going to give it to Charbonnet, who's going to pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards on the carry. And so let's see. Denny Street says, way to hang in for the game. I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming back through as well. Archie said, I have not had an NFL jersey since like 2007. The last NFL jersey that JB had, I think, was Priest Holmes jersey. I think that's the last NFL jersey that I actually had was like a Priest Holmes jersey back in the day. I had a Priest Holmes jersey. I had a Randy Moss Raiders jersey, and I also had, let's see, I also had, I believe, let's say I had some Tom Brady jerseys as well. Trying to think, did I have a Ty Law jersey? I think I had a Ty Law jersey back then as well. And so appreciate the love, Denny. I appreciate the love. RC said, JB said, let's do an overtime, please, baby. I don't know about that now. Another running play, and Charbonnet running hard here picks up about another 3 yards on the play. So now this is what it all comes down to. Third down. If you get the first down and you're the Seattle Seahawks there, then that's game. All you need is to get the first down. Time is just coming soon. A new Instagram page coming in 2026. So said, JB, what's one player from your own team that you couldn't stand? Does it be a current player, SM, or can it be like a past player? Because that's a good question. Because if it's a past player, I know exactly who comes to mind now. And it's so sad too, because we had good times together. We really did. I used to root for the guy, but because of how the guy acts now, it is so hard to be like, oh, we rooted for him because of how he acts. And that person would be Asante Samuels. I mean, Asante Samuels, I wish nothing for the best for him, especially when he was playing and stuff. When he left us, I was okay with that. But it's how he talks about his time in New England that really irks me the wrong way. So I would have to say Asante Samuels would be one. Wes Welker a little bit kind of irked me too because you went and joined the Broncos after you left us and joined with Peyton, which I didn't like that also. But I would say I'd say them, let's see. Oh, Rashay Cardwell. I could not stand Rashay Cardwell at all. Those big eyes, and yet you can't catch the ball. Rashay Cardwell probably topped that list there just because he was terrible. Let's see, what she said. I had Vikings jersey, Culpepper Vikings jersey, Smith Smith jersey, Kurt Warner Rams jersey, and lastly, a Mike Brown Bears jersey. No more, no less. Right, but that's all she wrote, guys. And so now the Seahawks taking knees here to run out the clock, guys. It has been a game here in which the score to me is a lot closer than it should have been. The score should not have been this close, but Seattle made their share of mistakes as well to keep the Texans in this game. But the Texans, y'all got to do some soul searching here. But I'm talking to the offense for the Texans. Y'all got to do some real soul searching. This defense is a playoff caliber defense, but this offense has got to catch up. But congratulations to all the Seahawks fans because you guys, hey, you're in a tough division there. You came out here, you won this hard fought game. Congratulations there to Seattle. They're going to advance to 5-2. Meanwhile, for the Houston Texans, they're going to fall to 2-4. She says, time to lay the bleep down, everyone. Thanks for a great, fun vampire football stream, JB. And so, yeah, I want to thank everybody, though, for really coming out here tonight, showing support as we watch this game, guys. It's been really fun, and I appreciate it here. And of course, JB's got to get to sleep, got to be up in about 4 hours and 30 minutes. But I want to thank everybody once again. Good night to everyone. And I look forward to seeing you guys again next stream. And again, JB's next live stream will be Wednesday. And again, if you guys just want to come through just to talk sports, it can be, questions about your team, the division, whether it's college football, NFL. I won't be by myself. I'll have Zoe, I'll have Old Man. Hopefully, Old Man might be able to join us this time as well. And then I'll have you guys in the chat also. So it'll be a good one there. Wednesday, my next play-by-play will be college football for LSU versus Texas A&M. And that's going to be 7:30 p.m. Eastern time next week, Saturday. So I'll go ahead and set up that live stream there. And of course, when it comes to the NFL, you can bank on usually Monday Night Football. Sometimes I'll throw in Sunday Night Football. It just depends on what all I've got going on that day. Samuel says, yeah, good night to you, Samuel. Thanks for coming again, and I'll see you Wednesday. And he said, let's go Buckeyes. Absolutely. Yes, let's go Ohio State Buckeyes. SM said you would go, JB. And so, hey, I appreciate that, SM. I do. You say always a great dream. Yes, if only my team could be as dominant as your Rams are, for sure. But yeah, good night to you. And as SM said, good night, everybody. Take care. See you guys next time. JB signing out.